Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, Ghosty. I missed it for like a week and a half because the GP didn't have, a chemist didn't have any. And when I went on it yesterday, it always affects me the day after. It absolutely just, man, it's just been a bad day. Put it that way. I was almost ready to just give up on today's stream, honestly. That's how bad it was, but I couldn't let you guys down. I had to be here. So, when did you care about trash liver shit? Ghosty. Ghosty. They're just mauling you at the moment. I haven't seen the Mall series yet. I think after I finish watching The Boys, I'm done with TV series for a while. I've binge watched so much. Get back to playing video games. Hey man, so everything's kind of good. Looks like Asha Sharma has brought in the AI to do her bidding. The grand overhaul has begun. So how have we been? And if anyone is playing NTE, how are you finding it? Is that the same as like Darth Maul, from Star Wars, or is it different? At the moment, I was watching, and it's really short. The new Stranger Things animated series. It's actually really good. I'm liking it. You sent me a code? Yeah, I was too busy earlier dying. Wait, I didn't get any message from you. When did you send it? I've got no DM. I'm looking at my DM and I see nothing. Nothing! What's this? PlayStation sales announcement. Hypocrisy exposed when Sony drops a certified banger. They can't wait to scream the numbers from the rooftops within 48, 72 hours. Oh yeah. You know a game is done well when the publisher is singing its praises. You know? Though I've never heard of Fix Up X. Something Powerboss is using, so I might have to check that app out and see what it is. Yeah, I'm not saying anything you sent bullets. You might have sent it to someone else. Ah, it's a show about Darth Maul? Right, I thought so. I'll check it out. But I want to play Expedition 33. I also need to play through Will Follow the Light, which I've been given a code for. The flasher of New Eridu. Nah, I got my girl. I got her finally, so I'm all happy. I got my Fadia, my Hathor, and Jiwon, so I'm good. Wife looking at me now with like that proper side eye, straight training from the Dachshund. What's wrong? I was getting this on the peanut butter. Mate, I gave her like a chunk of that today. So true story, right? I bought these two little bones for my little pup. They had like duck around it and whatnot. And so I took one out and she grabbed it, and for about 2 hours she was chomping on that thing like she was in heaven. At that point, I started to feel really ill, and I was incapacitated for about 4 hours, 5 hours. And then the missus comes around and goes, wait a minute, the packet's empty, because there was 2 in there. Turns out she jumped on the table, took the other one out, left the packet there so no one would notice, and she's been hiding behind the sofa, eating the second one. They're smart little things, aren't they? Yeah, like I said in my video, that was yeah, bad dog. And now, earlier, about half an hour ago, the missus took it out of her mouth to see what she would do, and she just sat there looking up, put all the puppy eyes on and everything, and so she had to give it back. She is too soft. Only PlayStation? Yeah, the lawsuit that they ended up paying, they settled for, was pennies for a corporation like that. But still, almost $8 million is still $8 million that they have to make up now, right? It's still money. Money that they don't want to spend or waste, right? Also, Bruno completely outed himself today as being the grandpa of all grandpas. I'm gonna do something now. By the way, a quick tech question, because I think I know the answer to this. My monitor every so often keeps flickering off and on. The power's fine, the cables are fine, the monitor's going, right? That's what I'm understanding from this. I've had it for a long time, so it served its purpose, but just double checking that my theory is correct. Yo, Minnie! Apparently my monitor's going, so yours is mine. Thanks! You want your bed, right? What's more important, your bed or the monitor? Hey, Grey Fox. Yeah, I'll have to find a new monitor. I don't know if I'm going to go for a curved one, though. I don't quite like a curved. I did want to get ultra wide, but then I'm not sure if I'll actually really enjoy ultra wide. I'm not sure. Might just get the standard 16:9 again and keep it like that. Hey, Woodstar. Hey, Grey Fox. I'm all in. I'm all about that Call of the Elder Gods coming. Call of the Elder Gods? You know, for some weird reason, Sinceres, I actually thought you was talking about some mix between Call of Duty and Elder Scrolls. Such is the way. Well, if any happen to drop onto your van, you know I'm good for it. Man, I am never going to escape the allegations, am I? I am never going to escape the allegations. Hey, sup, PS5 Blows? How's it going? Did I play Call of the Sea? I don't know. It sounds familiar. What is that smell? Huh? Ah, cat food. Okay. I thought Luna decided to unearth something. You know I'm good for it, right? We've only just started PS5. Elder Gods is Mortal Kombat. Literally just started about 15 minutes ago. So we've just been settling in. This is the first topic of the day. Before we move on to the big one, the Asha one. So, a bunch of games. Oh god, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do. So I guess I can't enlarge this one. Alright, so we're getting a bunch of games coming soon to Game Pass. People are already complaining that some of these have already been here. And, well, they kind of forget that they've been on Ultimate but not Premium. And so being on Premium means that they are appearing the first time. But for Ultimate subscribers, you're getting Forza Horizon 6 this month. Along with, I think Wildgate has already been here before. Mixtape is finally landing on Ultimate. You're getting Outbound, Black Jacket, Call of the Elders Gods, as we've seen. And Subnautica 2 is actually landing. Byron, I'm probably going to check that out on Thursday. Oh, look, it's the granddad. The one that outed himself on social media today without even meaning to. How's it going, Grandpappy? I need this Final Fantasy sale to go away. I've spent so much money on Final Fantasy games in this sale. And there's more eyeing me. I know, Woodstar, I know. I know. I'm keen. I'm tempted to just buy all of them and just say, right, I'm done. But I've spent so much on games this month. This month and last month. I need to stop. Chances are I'm never going to play through them. And even if I buy those Final Fantasy games, I just know I'm probably not going to play them either. Because I've already played them. What's that Elite game? It's called Elite Dangerous. It's a spaceship game. You get in a ship and you fly. And you do elite and dangerous things. You might think I'm taking the piss, but I'm really not. It's one of those situations where the name literally does live up to the game. Is it the people or is it the medication? Because today mine was definitely the medication. It murdered the living hell out of me. I mean, there's a couple of things here that's quite nice. You've got Forza, you've got Mixtape. For those of you that aren't on Ultimate and are on Premium, you got Wuchang, you might like. You got Subnautica, which I'm never touching. But Doom is finally on there now. You might like Elite Dangerous. It's very different to the likes of Starfield. It's more simulation, I believe. Descenders next with skateboarding. And of course, if you like your platformers and are a Ben 10 fan. So there's actually quite a lot here that's actually going to appeal to some people. Yeah. You're off the meds. People say it's dead already. I mean, Elite Dangerous was never one of those games that had a huge... Well, it started off with a huge following, but it's just way too hardcore. It's become more hardcore than Star Citizen. What kind of dog? I've got a Dachshund. Shall I go get Luna so I can show you guys, those that haven't seen her? Masha made a statement. What did she make a statement? Asha the Masha. I've seen it. Alright, I guess we can have a look at this statement. Xbox needs to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. I mean, the players part is easy. Just give them exclusives and they'll be happy. Really, that's all they want. Take it off PlayStation. That is literally all they want. You do that and make them console exclusive, they will be happy. It's really easy, Asha. I tell you what, with that, I won't even charge you this time. I'm giving you that one as a freebie. You know, that one is literally a gem for you. Today, we promoted leaders who helped build Xbox, while also bringing in new voices to help push us forward. This balance is important as we get the business back on track. As part of this shift, you'll see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we're headed. I wonder what that is. Beginning with winding down Copilot on mobile, and we'll stop development of Copilot on console. Oh wow! That's huge. That was being marketed everywhere, Copilot. I think Microsoft is finally getting the picture that no one really wants to use Copilot. If you are in Series S, don't bother with Wuchang. Why is that? Woodstar, I don't mind AI, right? I mean, I use it a lot at the moment in terms of just helping me with just day-to-day stuff. You know, stuff that I could do myself, but it does it for me. I don't really have much problem with it. I mean, there's a new game right now called Neverness to Everness, right? And the actual game itself is all built by hand. But then you've got stuff in like the background, like the billboards and the TVs that are being shown with adverts and stuff. You know, trailers or whatever. You know, it's a living world. Think of GTA 6, how the world is supposed to be fully alive, and it's like that. You walk past like windows and you'll see like stuff playing. And apparently those are built on generative AI. And I'm like, who the cares? It's literally something that you're passing by that you're not going to pay attention to more than 5 seconds. If that. But people are now up in arms saying, I really like the game. It's so good. It's a game that I could get lost in. But they got that billboard there, so that's it. I'm uninstalling. And I'm like, mate, you don't need to announce it on Twitter. Just fuck off. No one cares if you play it or not. The anti-AI crew is just... I think they're actually worse than the The actual woke crew. Woke and anti-woke crew. Oh, Susanna, I tell them that about the whole X thing, and then they say it's not the same. They use it because it makes them money. Oh, so it's okay when it makes you money, but not okay when it's making other people money, right? The hypocrisy is real with these people. Yeah, Sanchez, Forza and Subnautica is landing on Game Pass this month. It's a big deal. I moved. I'm now upstairs at my PC. Miracles can happen, man. I knew it would take a day or so for you to get over your slump after that result, but I had faith that you'd manage. Exactly, Vital. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want AI to replace people, right? But it's not like AI is going to go away. They've invested way too much money in it now to stop it from, becoming a thing. Just how it is, man. But the way they were using Copilot on mobile, see, I use the Bing app a lot on mobile. I never touched Copilot because I just don't need it on mobile. I don't use any AI on mobile. Generally, you just do a search and it comes up anyway. Gemini does it for you. It's the most useful one because they've got their own browser. I know Edge has their one too, but it's kind of tied to Bing on there, and it's it's a pain to get around. And this is part of the reason why they should never have got rid of Windows Mobile. They should have developed and built on it and tried to work on it. On the console, it's even worse. I needed it once, and it couldn't give me the answer. So we tried it live on stream that time when we was playing that game. Still wasted deep, and it didn't even come through. So it's a waste of time. No one's really going to use it or utilize it. You're probably just overworked, man. You just probably need to recharge your batteries, that's all. I was like that yesterday. I was supposed to jump on stream yesterday to do Pragmata, but for the whole day I just felt awful. So yesterday I was just sleeping for most of it. Forget it. Ask Gemini instead. Then Copilot proceeds to give you something useful. But yeah, this is actually pretty interesting that they actually went down this route. But following on from that statement, we can see from here the people that have now moved in. Jared Palmer, former Core AI VP of Product, joins as VP of Engineering. Tim Allen, Core VP of Design, now joins as Design Lead. John McKay, not the McKay from Atlantis. This is a different McKay. At least I hope it is anyway. Could you imagine having to work with McKay? Oh God. I think that would be the first time I would actually forcefully resign. I don't think I could work with that guy. Core AI Head of Growth joins Lead Growth Data Platform and Analytics. And of course, Evan Chackey. Now, a lot of people are going to be talking about these names like they know them, like their brother and sister and uncle and all of this stuff. In the reality, they're just a bunch of dudes moving from one place to another. And hopefully it will be better for Xbox. And the gamers will benefit from it. That's the ultimate thing that, might come from it. And if it does, happy days, But I know there's going to be a bunch of videos about it and people talking about how that's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be partaking in that. It's just a bunch of people just moving from one place to another. But McKay's your favorite Stargate character? What? There is something seriously wrong with you. How can McKay be your favorite character? Confusing in what ways, Susanna? Would say more, but there's over 10 different versions of Copilot. Yeah. But we do have this article from The Verge, which goes into it a little bit more deeper. Microsoft's new Xbox chief, Asha has spent the past couple of months making her mark on the Xbox organization. I think the big mark she needs to make is to get a mandate from Satya to say, you do what you need to do and we will not interfere. You bring Xbox back to the glory days that it once had. You've got the full tools at your, as your arsenal to use. We will not interfere in any way, shape, or form. Do what you need to do. Until Satya really says that, I still feel she's shackled quite a lot. After focusing on highly requested Xbox console features, reducing the price of Game Pass, well, we actually got a worse deal with that one. I'm just gonna say that and leave it there. We're actually worse off. And moving Microsoft Gaming back to Xbox, Sharma is now reorganizing the Xbox platform team at Microsoft today. McKay has the best quips. And he's the most annoying. Walter Frey is the best character in all of Game. That's what I said. I was looking for an excuse. Yeah, Motor Slice did release. We're going to cover that in a... I was supposed to cover that, but something else. They brought me on to something else immediately after it, so we kind of diverged a little bit off path. So I'm covering this news first because this one is the one that people wanted to dive into immediately. Nah, Asha shouldn't. I don't think Asha's in that position yet. Anyway, the changes will see some veterans depart, promotions, and new faces with more technical expertise help Xbox platform. Jared Palmer, who used to work with Sharma in Microsoft's core division, is joining Xbox VP. So what's happening here is that she's basically bringing in people that she worked with, that she's comfortable with, that she can get along with, that she can rely on to do what she's asking them to do. And essentially, that's it. The only one I've got an issue with is this John McCabe. For reasons like I said, I wouldn't trust McCabe. The guy destroyed a solar system. Come on. Or was it a galaxy? One of the two. But can you really trust a guy that has taken out a whole solar system? I'm just going to put it out there. Former head of growth at Microsoft's Core AI division is also joining Xbox to lead its growth, data platform, and analytics. Even Chucky, a former general manager in Core AI, is joining the team. There are a lot of people joining Xbox from Microsoft's Core AI team, and it seems like Sharma is bringing over her former colleagues to give the Xbox organization a little more technical expertise for platforms and experience with things like growth and data. It's been clear for a number of years that Microsoft really hasn't known what they're doing with the whole growth and data side of things. It's been painfully obvious. But the question that I have is, she's taking all of these valuable people away from AI. Who's replacing them? These are established people in the Core AI team. And she's just taking them. So, don't get me wrong, I'm sure everyone's replaceable, right? But considering AI is Microsoft's love child at the moment, I'm surprised that they're allowing her to do this. So maybe she has more of a mandate than people actually realize. You wouldn't take resources away from a department that's raking in the money and put it into a department that's not making the money. I mean, the Core AI doesn't just work on Copilot though, do they? And they're only ending it from mobile and console. They still have the desktop side of things that will remain, and other aspects of the core AI. Arsenal are 1-0 up. Man, I still haven't played Vampire Crawlers. I downloaded it and was supposed to try it the other day, and I never got to do it. Sanchez, I'll jump onto that after this article. As part of this new shakeup, Rohan Sun's corporate vice president of Xbox devices and ecosystem will be taking a leave of absence after this summer and will be staying on as advisor. Jesus, they're like, right, you're out. Sun's previously reported up to Bond and helped lead the launch of the Xbox Allied devices. Look, anyone that was associated with this woman, it's clear that they're just being cleaned out, man. Say it how you will. They're being cleaned out. Anyone that was working or reported to Sarah Bond is being pushed out. You can see it as well. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're just like, it's done. Kevin Gamel, corporate vice president Xbox user, is also stepping down after he has dedicated more than 15 years to Xbox and will support the transition. I'm grateful for his. Yeah, they're just booting everyone. Jason, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you do need fresh blood in there to do things, right? Sometimes you just need a fresh perspective because the old guard isn't working. And I think that's a good thing. Using a real world example, where I used to work, we had a team that used to go on pitches to win projects. And for years, they couldn't win a single damn thing. And the ones that they did win were just scraps off the table. And then in the last year, they finally got rid of that team after a number of years and brought in new people. And that new team started winning projects after projects. It was a bit too late to save our company because the numbers just weren't it anymore. And so they had to get rid of all of us. Well, technically, an American company came in, bought our company, and then got rid of all of us. But, you know, it was too late. They relied on the old guard because they had friends there, a reputation, and they had, you know, ties with the senior management and the CEO and whatnot. So through favors and stuff, they just kept on the project, and ultimately they sunk the whole company. And hundreds and hundreds of people lost their jobs. So sometimes bringing in new people with new perspectives and new ideas is definitely a good thing. The trick is to do it early enough, to catch it early enough so it doesn't make a mistake. So this is a positive change for me. I've got no problem with this change. Jason Ronald has also been promoted, which is cool. So he's accountable for the Project Helix platform. Says it's not clear what Ronald's new title is, though. Jason Beaumont will lead the product and serve as interim head of engineering as part of these changes. So that's actually interesting. If you got a promotion and you don't even have a title. You know, where I used to work, that meant that you were getting laid off. So good luck to him. I hope that's not the case. He's been there for long enough and has a long enough following to, you know, not do that. But cool stuff. You know, new people is always good things. And, you know, we've got over here with Mr. Ronald, the future of Xbox console is in good hands, but the guy's been promoted with no new title. I don't know. I wouldn't be too thing with that one. I don't know. I feel like there's something missing there. There was the PlayStation thing that I had in. Let's jump into that one in a sec. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Hey, Diablo. Let's read up and chat. Bond was behind Project Latitude. Yes, Navy. Most people are here to listen to Sony bad news. Is that actually true? Is that actually true? Anyway, Sony's lawsuit on the kind of digital purchases trading has actually been settled for $7.85 million. And yeah, you can actually now claim and check for eligibility. To meet the eligibility criteria for the PlayStation refund, you must have purchased at least one digital game from the list below. The list that I've shown you in my video, it's a big list, so you should go check that out. But yeah, they've actually, and that's a huge list, right? I'm sure there's at least one game on there that you may have purchased. This is only for the US, though, by the way, not for anywhere else. I suspect more countries after this are going to go after Sony, like the UK and the rest of Europe are going to go after Sony because of this, because it's set a precedent that they settled. So, yeah. Hey, Kage. It's only the US. So, if you have bought any of these, you will get a refund. However, it's not sure how much you will get. However, a safe guess is that the court will award around $1 to $3 compensation per qualifying purchase to ensure as widespread coverage as possible. So, this means if you bought 3 games during that window, you'd get anything from around $3 to $9 in compensation. See, Sony got away with this quite easily, and the actual lawyers that settled this for $7.8 million, they basically told Sony, okay, you're fine. Here's a slap on the wrist, and we'll take the $8 million. We'll take our share because we're going to get a lot of money from this. And for everyone else that we were fighting for, we'd no longer care about them, whether they got screwed over or anything. So those people can just go cry in a corner. We don't care. What we got was our, basically, honeypot. We're set for life. And everyone else can go do one. They could have easily sued Sony and got way more than $8 million, right? But it is what it is. There's already a lawsuit from the UK already running, Raichi. The UK one is way more expensive. As Gorsey said, it's about $3 billion, £3 billion, which roughly equates to about, give or take, $4 billion, somewhere in that region. Vital, that's not the reason why it's so low. It's because of how many people signed the class action lawsuit. It's based on the number of people that have actually joined it, and then because they're now being represented by that firm, and that's why they're allowed to get a bit more weight behind it. And so that 7.8 million now has to be split between all of those people that signed up to it. Dynamic pricing, nothing will come from that one. 30-day DRM, the 30-day DRM sucks, but again, they'll find ways around that. Age verification is a UK thing, but it is now available globally everywhere. So that's just something that people have to deal with. In fact, there's a bit of news on kids in the UK actually circumventing that now, haven't they? And they've done probably the number one thing that the UK and government would have loved them to do. They've basically put on a moustache and bypassed the thing. Age verification. This will now give the UK the mandate they need to make the laws stricter, to make them more stringent, and require even more identification. So these kids just made it worse for everyone else. And this is going to spread to the rest of the world as well. Once the system is up and running, everyone's going to be using it. So good job, kids. Yeah, 100%. Unlike the US where they have to opt in the UK you have to opt out. People just go with the class actions designer because they don't have to do anything. And then at the end of the day, if the payday comes, they haven't done anything, so they don't have to do anything. You know, they're basically getting free money. God, it's this Grant Taylor Hill that wrote this article as well. How can he's a senior editor and sports? I'm surprised how this guy is still employed. Fun fact: did you know that this dude over here, right? He rang up. What's the animal? I know there was RSP. What's the animal thing? Cruelty. Place in the US. There's a number for it. I've got the name Vespa in my mind, but I don't know if that's correct. PETA, that's it. He rang up PETA, right? And started saying how people playing Power World were committing animal cruelty by killing pets and making them fight and stuff. And that they should contact Pocket Pet and get them to shut the game down. Okay. I was close. No, it's PETA. The guy literally rang up PETA to actually... And he openly admitted to it as well. A video game. And he's still employed. Or it's pronounced Peter. How do you do that and still and stay employed? Like, has this guy played no RPGs whatsoever? The first thing you do in an RPG is go colonize the whole wildlife for that sweet, sweet EXP. You completely and utterly destroy anything that moves, whether it's a rabbit or a squirrel. It just vanishes the moment you see it. Why Xbox has moved more digital: 1, play anywhere; 2, actual refund policy; 3, you can buy codes on third-party sites. Well, this is basically why this case was, because you can't get your codes anywhere else. You can only get digital games off PlayStation. And they basically wanted companies to be able to, have the ability to make those purchases, and Sony wouldn't let them. See, Vital gets it. I know, Kage, I know, but hey, be nice. How's it going? What is a bad thing? Hey, Shinzo. So yeah, this is real. I know there's about another 3 or 4 court cases that Sony's involved in. A big one in the UK is still ongoing. There's the one in Europe by the Polish and I can't remember who else. That court case is still going for the 30% Sony charges. There's another one ongoing with something else. I think hardware, the controllers. So they've got a number of pending lawsuits, but Sony got off lightly, very lightly with this one. extremely lightly. Have I tried caviar? Once or twice, not many times. Xbox Store never has it less than $20. Yeah, the sales on the Xbox Store aren't really that great. I think they can do a lot better. Definitely can do a lot better. But check out places like Loaded. Sometimes they have really good prices for Xbox games, digital. So you might have lucked out over there. Yeah, Nintendo are. Sony just wants all the money, right? They don't want. They don't. Well, I mean, what Microsoft hasn't figured out yet is that. Well, I wouldn't even say figured out. See, with Steam, you can download a game off the dark web, and once you've downloaded it, you can install it and then import it into your Steam catalog, and it'll be no different, right? Or you can just go to these loaded sites and buy the games, and Steam doesn't care. But Steam's sales are so low because it has to compete with places like Loaded. That's my understanding. Otherwise, I don't think they'd be so good. Even then, though, lately the Steam sales haven't been great. Like, I'm seeing games like Luna, for example, going on sale, and they've still been like £45 on sale. It's like, that's not a sale. I know it's priced at $60, but these are games that were released back in the Super NES days. That's not a sale. A sale on that game would be something like $19.99, and even that's too much. But hey, Amazon did a misprice, and I picked it up on Switch for £25, so I'm happy. Sucks to be Amazon at this point, but you know what? They honored the misprice. It probably still is there. I'm happy. What would be a good time for tea and crumpets in Chaos? Crumpets are something you really have in the morning, at least for me. So it'd probably be something somewhere around your breakfast. Tea, crumpets, a bit of stuff around it. But then I'm Turkish, right? So I'd also have like black olives around there, tomatoes, white cheese that we have. So I'd probably have like a traditional Turkish breakfast. But something like crumpets would be nice there. They don't have a choice in the US but to honor the price? Maybe. Yeah, Starfield also like has maintained its price, which is surprising. Now you're getting hungry. Such is the way. But in regards to Sony's bad news, that's really about it. There hasn't been much else. I mean, there's been no real news this past week, really. There's just been little tidbits of stuff that's been floating around. This one over here is quite big. Not sure where this one started, but it's not true. The next Call of Duty is not being developed for the PS4 and by definition, the Xbox One. But the question is it being developed for the Switch too? So they're finally, after 12 years, dropping the PS4 and the Xbox One. That's crazy. I bet they were crying and kicking in tears when this happened. I hate pre-orders, not charging me full price. I'm gonna play Forza Horizon 6. I'm not a huge racer, but I'm gonna have some fun in there. But I'm not sure if I'd purchase it. If it wasn't on Game Pass, for example, I'm not sure if I'd pick it up. I'm just not that big of a racer. Unless my community really wanted to see me play it, then that would be different. This isn't rumors. This is oh, you mean in terms of it being because people have wanted Call of Duty to leave behind last generation for a long time. And now that they've officially confirmed that they're stopping support for PS4 and Xbox One, you've got the PS4 community and the Xbox One community now coming out and saying this is anti-consumer and they should be supporting the PS4 and the Xbox One. I'm like, Jesus, we're at the end of the current generation. How much more support do you want? Like, it's enough, man. And the issue with Atomic Heart, back when it was on Game Pass, was tiny subtitle text. And that's before my eye surgery. Do you know what, Kage? What you need, right, mate? What you need, right? And this isn't sponsored in any way. I just love this device. What you need, mate, is one of these, right? You need one of these, yeah? And inside here, you can get prescription lens as well, like I did. You put these on. You connect this to your Xbox or your PC or your Switch, your Xbox Ally. You get a big, nice 180, 200-inch screen in front of you because these are small little OLEDs. And you never have that problem again. They are absolutely amazing. So check them out. These AR glasses are awesome. They're pricey, but they're really damn good. I know, right? Frankly, I think previous gen consoles should be supported for 1-2 years maximum. Either move to the current gen or be left behind. I'm full on in agreement with this. However, I was in Colt Eastwood's stream last night. Yes, I was. I think someone of you from here might have seen me there, and I was a bit baffled at what some of the stuff that was being said. But anyway, the topic of the next generation actually came up. And Colt's solution was that the Series S would be supported as the low-end entry for the next generation. I wish I could see that recommendation. Look up the X-Real 1 Pro. You do have the X-Real 1S as well. That's a much cheaper variant. And it's also really, really good. It's the second tier down. It's the one tier down. Right? And they were saying how they would price the Series S at $199 and then the Helix at $799. Look. The Helix is going to support the Series X, right? I think when the Helix comes out, games will be on... Microsoft should just say basically, right, if you've got the X, happy days, we'll support you for 1 year. S, you're going to need to use cloud on games, and all games that come out on Xbox will support the cloud, period, for that 1 year. Or whatever, until they stop being... Because at some point, Microsoft is going to stop making games for the X, right? And I reckon that period is going to be about a year or two. And then all the games that are coming are going to be based on their unified platform, which is what they want to do to cut costs. They want one code to work everywhere, and that's why Helix is being developed, to bring all code to one so it works with everything. How long do you think Microsoft is going to make a Helix version of the game a Series X version of the game and a Series S version of the game. How long do you think they're going to do this? Because if they continue down that path, Helix is a waste of time. Because it's still going to be built based on the lowest denominator. Yes and no. They can eat. So the blades on the cloud server are Series X's. When it gets overly busy, like it has right now, it will split. It splits into 4 and gives you the Series S performance. They just need to stop them from going into the Series S performance and leave it as the Series X blades instead. That will mean that they're going to have to bolster their cloud servers a lot more, but that's something that they have to figure the logistics out for themselves. I already gave them a freebie with the exclusive one. They can't expect me to give them everything for free now. It wasn't so bad yesterday. But some of the stuff that they were suggesting was just plain silly. It just, you know, how can I say? What I just said right now regarding the Series S is not a popular opinion. It's the right opinion, right? It's the right view and the right frame of mind, but it is not the popular opinion. And so people in my chat right now might not agree with me, and that's fine. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. That's what the chat section is for. You can openly say you disagree and why you disagree. But what I witnessed yesterday was I'm going to say all the right things to keep people happy and not be honest about where things need to go. And so that's the difference. You know, I value every single one of you that are here. I appreciate every single one of you that turn up, you know, every week on Tuesday and Thursday into my videos. But I'm always going to be true to myself. If I don't think something is right, I'm going to say it. And sometimes that's going to piss the living hell out of some of you. But that's where you guys can chime in and tell me to shut the f up. And here's how you feel. And you know what? That's fine. I'm never going to disrespect your opinion. And what Cesano said. I will never admit that I'm always right, but I'm never wrong. See? No, not everyone else can, but you. Which post are you talking about? I make a lot of posts on X, Cesaro. Okay, it works. Which one didn't make sense? You see, and this is why his opinions don't matter. He's just salty that, despite the fact that we gifted them 2 goals and tried to bring them back into the game, we broke their hearts and beat them 3-2. Hey man, I'm nothing like Reforge. Take that shit back. It made sense when I was writing it. And Steam Bros are just Steam Bros, man. They get wound up over anything. Didn't Everton win? You mean Chelsea? Battlefield. Does anyone play this even anymore? Apparently, Season 3 rises on May the 12th. Enter Pax Armata in Chaos. Warlords rise. NATO strikes back. Fight on railway to Gulmud. Our biggest map yet. 3 new weapons, 3 new attachments. Ranked Battle Royale arrives. Everton was free. Oof. So what you're saying, Sanchez, is that I'm even more right than King David. Because he's 98% right. But you said I'm 99% right. You know what? I'll take it. But deep in my heart, I know I've still got that 1% too. Oh, that's cool, Vital. I've got this and I kind of fell off, and I don't know really why I fell off. It's a game that you need to play with friends, and I don't have any friends that want to actually play Battlefield. It's kind of sad. I used to live in Battlefield. Battlefield 3 was my jam. Battlefield 4 was good as well. Couldn't really get on with Battlefield 5. Yeah, it's just one of those things that when they announced it, the hype was massive for Battlefield. And then it just kind of went away. Let me play the trailer. Let's see what it's like. New flight sim update. Please don't play any standard music. This sounds like copyrighted music. This definitely sounds like copyrighted music, so I'm just going to keep on talking throughout the whole thing to make it, you know, reactionary, so no one will actually try to copyright me. It's probably still going to happen, you know how it is. Battlefield 1 was cool. I just didn't like the old-style weapons, which was my biggest problem with it. I preferred the modern Battlefield games. They just appealed to me more. I just felt more interesting with the different weapons that they can have. But I just feel like for some reason, Battlefield, this new one, just fell off the map entirely. It just, no one talks about it. No one is, I don't know. It just feels like it's just completely thing. Did they release any more like new single player content for this game or anything of that kind? Or is it still just multiplayer? They've just abandoned the single player entirely. Because I'd love them to actually, you know, every now and then add new story missions or stuff like that, or even just single missions where you have to infiltrate, take something out, and, you know, make your way out. You know, something that's truly co-op. It's not PvP, and you go in as a team to take people out and, you know, the enemy out and do the objective. You know? Have they done anything like that? Hey, I managed to stay talking all the way through. I've never done that before, so let's see if that will actually work. If it doesn't, I'll just cut the whole section out. You said that Battlefield Hardcore was £1.74. Do you know how many games I've been buying recently just because they are so cheap? This is the one thing that Steam does, man. Like Celeste, I think it was Celeste or something like that I recently went in and bought. It was like so cheap. It's crazy. It was like £1.50. Like Dungeons of Hinterberg. If you don't have Game Pass and you want to play a pretty cool dungeon game, it's right now on Steam for 70% off at £5.69. Like, these are really great prices. I don't mean to promote Steam, but Jesus, when it comes to some of the prices, it's insane. You really can't go wrong with some of these prices. But the one I was looking for was, I think you were saying Hardline, right? Hardline right now, the Ultimate Edition is £1.74. Dude, that is crazy. It's 95% off. And there is 44 hours, 31 minutes in order to actually get this. Chaos, if you could predict one game they're going to pull out first, which one would it be? I'm talking Game Pass here. I predict if they would, it would be Gears. Man, if they pulled Gears out of Game Pass this soon, I think they would have too much. They would get absolutely slaughtered. I think Gears would be the game to make console exclusive, like I said in my last video. I can't see them doing that to Gears. I think they would absolutely get mauled. They can't do it to Fable because, I mean, Gears, I can see where you're coming from, mainly because, you know, they've actually not announced anything for it, right? Well, Battlefield 3 Premium Edition is $174 as well. Jesus, these are too cheap. And Battlefield 3 is my favorite Battlefield. I wonder if the online even still works on there. One way to find out. God damn you, Ghosty. But in terms of what game do I think will be removed, like I said, I don't think it'll be any of those. It's not going to be Fable. And I was having a discussion with a friend of mine today, and I kind of agree with what he said. Fable has a big lineage behind it. It's a big franchise, right? It has a lot of fans, but it's niche. And I don't think, despite how people are, you know, those that are really into Fable are really the most vocal ones, but I don't know how much it's going to appeal to everyone else. So trying to test it with Fable, I don't think is the right choice. In fact, I have suspicions that Fable might not even sell well if it, you know, even going multi-platform. But we'll see when it comes out. Forza's a racing game, and there's still a big racing community out there, which is why it made sense to do that one as a timed exclusive. But I think the big one that they're probably going to look at doing, removing off Game Pass, is probably going to be Blade. Now, there's a good chance, from what I've heard, that we might see it at the June showcase, and for a release most likely next year now. But I think that will potentially be the first game that they might, big game that they might take off. And that one has multiple reasonings why it makes a lot more sense, especially with that ridiculous contract that Marvel imposes. Xbox is actually using AI? In what sense? Everything uses AI, Mandalorian. Elder Scrolls 6 is a game that I think is definitely a potential, but the fact that that's not releasing until, you know, 2147, I don't think anyone really needs to care about Elder Scrolls 6 right now. You know, one day when you're looking down and seeing people enjoying it, you know, in a many years from now, then you know, it's something that you can possibly look at and find out. But it's so far away, it's not even worth talking about. Hey, Paul, how's it going, my dude? What if they did make Halo Remake? What if they did the Halo remake? I mean, they are, right? Campaign Evolved. They're remaking Halo and pulled that. They're not going to pull Halo. See, anything that they've announced already to be day one on Game Pass, they're not going to remove. So games like Fable, Forza Horizon, Campaign Evolved, those games have already been announced day one for Game Pass. Those aren't coming off. It would be such bad PR. Can you imagine? We've already had Call of Duty, which all Xbox first-party games are on Game Pass, and now they're not. Now, can you imagine them actually saying, right, this is on Game Pass, and then 3 months down the line saying, sorry, guys, yeah, it's not on Game Pass anymore? I think that would absolutely slaughter them. They can't do it. I know they've got the power to do it if they want to destroy everything they've built, but no sane person... Okay, with Satya involved, they possibly can, but, you know, no sane person would do that. That's literally just signing a death warrant. Fable is the best RPG ever. See, I'm not saying that people don't like it. I'm saying it's a niche game. How many copies did Fable sell? Like, what was the widespread spread of Fable? How big was it? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 100 million? Like, what was it? Because I never what I hear about Fable right now is, and have been hearing for a number of years, Fable's great, and I agree. When I played it, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. But it's never been a console seller, right? Halo used to be a console seller. Gears used to be a console seller. Anything that's not a console seller is lower down the pack. And Fable was one of those games. Xbox could make Dead Rising exclusive again. They could. Although, I was actually reading up on Dead Rising just the other day because it's on the Humble Bundle deal. And it didn't sell very well. The latest one didn't sell very well because they decided to take out all the stuff that, you know, all the quirks and the, you know, weird and funny stuff, the cheeky stuff from the game. They took it all out and they basically modernized it. And people just ignored it. Yeah, but Navy is still niche. I mean, when we actually see the numbers, we'll see. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I just like it. It doesn't have the draw that other big games have. The mouse was his piece. Not much, Paul. We talked about Asha and AI and stuff. The original game selling over 3 million copies. That's pretty good. Those numbers are pretty decent. We'll see. The Fable franchise sold 12 million. Black Flag sold 15 million in a single year. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. I think it was Halo 4 that sold over 10 million copies, right, on its own. Halo 5, I think, sold something similar as well, around 8 to 10 million. There's a big difference when it comes to the numbers. What Xbox needs to do is buy more Marvel type games that will get more people on Xbox. You mean third party money hat, right? Not actually by the studio. And I agree. There are big games out there, big franchises that will get people to buy your platform to play them. Xbox's biggest problem, I guess, right now is that even if they money hatted a third party game, let's say, for example, okay, name me one franchise in Marvel that would make you guys say, right, I need to play that. Like, there's no two ways about it. I have to play it. Would you say Deadpool is one of them? Forza Horizon 6 is a console seller. If you like racing games, Forza Horizon is definitely there. But in terms of Marvel, what would be a massive game that would you turn around and say, do you know what? that might just make me buy an Xbox. Anyone? The Captain America game? Doctor Doom? Iron Man game is coming out already, so that's kind of been done. X-Men, maybe? It's been done a few times, but a Doctor Doom game hasn't really been done. A Captain America game hasn't been done. Right, let's go with Captain America. Spawn as well. Spawn's another one. Loads of people would go after Spawn. Can you imagine? So let's use Spawn and Captain America. So Xbox just announced, right? Hey guys, this is going to be console exclusive. Spawn is releasing and Captain America's releasing. So you at home, sitting on your PC watching this, this announcement live. You don't have a powerful PC, but you can run games in your low to medium or medium settings, and it's perfectly serviceable, right? But you're not going to run it as good as a Series X can run it. Your PC just isn't that high equipped, right? It's old, but it's doing its job to be able to run games at medium settings. Are you going to go buy a Series X or just buy it for your PC? And that's where the problem comes in. Right? A system seller is a system seller when it's only available on the system. And that's where the problem comes in. And it's a problem Microsoft created, which I think is, pro-consumer. Not going to diss it or insult it in any way, shape, or form. I think it is pro-consumer. And in many ways, I think they did right by it, by the community, right? But they have a hard battle right now trying to get people to say, hey, this is worth me buying a console for. When there are so many alternate means of playing it. And don't forget, if you've got a cloud service like Boosteroid, xCloud, GeForce Now, you don't even need the console to play those Xbox games, right? If it's going to be console exclusive, it will probably be on that service. So you can play it that way as well. And being console exclusive means it's going to be available on PC. So one way or another, you'll be able to play it outside of the console. The Phantom would be another one. But you know what we really need, guys? None of you have said this at all. I know it's not Marvel, but still. Someone posted it the other day on X and I saw it. And it was an old cartoon that I used to watch. I'm sure some of you remember it. Banana Man! Yeah, you heard me right. Banana Man. Thor could do okay, I think. Hulk, probably not. That's going to get really old real quick. Wonder Woman was such a shame that they cancelled that. But do you understand the predicament that Microsoft is in right now? No, not Alex. Mighty Mouse? You mean Danger Mouse? Danger Mouse. I've heard nothing about a Blinks remake at all. None. If there was, I didn't play it. But the Avengers from Square Enix pretty much killed that one real quick. Oh, Hulk was so bad in that game. I remember Banana Man. Yeah. But the problem that Microsoft have right now, they could get all these exclusives, right? The moment they're available on PC, you're giving people another option. What PlayStation and Nintendo are doing is saying, hey, we've got the exclusives and we're not letting you play it anywhere else. We might, I mean, in Sony's case, we will let you play it over on PC, but that could take up to 2 years. But if you want to play it day one and within the first 2 years, you need to be here. And that's their USP, right? Because I don't believe for a second they're taking single player games off PC. I think they're just going to continue on their cadence with leaving them to wait for a long time and then go there. Like I said, end of 2027, if we don't see games going to PC that are single player, then Sony has really pulled out. But we will. Nintendo, on the other hand, they don't give two nothing. They just think. I still think by 2028 we're going to see the first Nintendo game. That's my prediction. But Microsoft can't do that. Oregon Trail. Did you talk about Xbox Mini Cloud Streaming Box? The same one that was sitting on Phil's shelf? If the price is reasonable for the consumer? Not yet. Arsenal in the Champions League final. Good God, what has this world come to? I think by 2028, Vital, you're going to see the first Nintendo game go over onto PC. It's probably going to be an experiment to see how well it does, and then they'll be doing that. But the problem, the key thing here is they're not going to do day and date. Man, I really wish they continued the Constantine series. I know they brought him, the guy that did it, into what was that other series called from the CW network? I can't remember now. They brought him in there, and I still think he elevated that series in every way. But I kind of wish they never cancelled that. It was such a good series. I really liked it. See, my cultured friend Shinzo, we have Leisure Suit Larry. It's called Wuthering Waves, and actually, scrap that. That's not enough. You want to go and check out right now Azure Lane. It's a mobile game, but the developers are also making a game called Azure Promilia for consoles and PC. Legends of Tomorrow, that's the one. So, if you want to be cultured, go check those two games out. You think by 2028 we'll see the revival of Star Wars games as a whole? It depends on how the new Star Wars game that's coming out is going to be. I know they've just recently announced who's going to work on there. The one that Casey Hudson is working on. I really don't care who's working on it. We've seen so many times X developer that did this and X developer that did this, and then the game turns out to be horseshit. But if the game turns out to be good and picks up and everyone loves it, then I think that will be the catalyst for more Star Wars games. As Pod Racer, the new Star Wars racing game, will also be another one, which I think has real potential to be amazing, by the way. I'm really looking forward to that one. It looks so much fun. I really enjoyed the original Pod Racer. Fun fact, I still have the original CD-ROM somewhere in a box if it hasn't rotted away. But I still have the original, which is crazy. Actually, is it over here? Let me have a look. You know, in the method of Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. No, these are all my soundtracks. Headhunter Redemption, Final Fantasy VIII, Metal Gear Solid 2. What the hell? I got a Ubisoft soundtrack over here? Ubisoft soundtrack sampler. Okay, that was probably from a magazine. But no, I don't. It's in a box somewhere. That's another Metal Gear. That's Final Fantasy X. I'll put this back later. Okay, that needs to be dusted off as well. It's disgusting. I have the N64 cart. Commodore 64, let's go! But yeah, so I think those two games will be the catalyst that they need in order to be pushing forward. Yeah, it's like, you see former devs of Titanfall, Apex, and all this, and then the game comes out and it's like, what did they actually work on? You see that rock over there? Where? Over there. What, this one over here? No, keep going. I'm outside the map. Yeah, keep going. Okay, but I'm about to die because the 30-second timer is about to elapse. Just keep sprinting. Right here? Yeah, that's the rock that they actually worked on. Okay. And that's generally how it goes. You should make a cameo in a video game? If only I could. Actually, that's a lie. I am in a video game. I'm in Football Manager 2007. A game that I worked on quite a lot, actually. And because of my dedication to the project, the developers actually put me into the game as a random player. So once you get to the point where they start generating random players because the current players are too old to come in, I randomly appear as a player in the team. So I am actually in a video game. It may not look like me, but I personally am in there with my details. You know what, Byron? I was gonna buy it, but I want it in the UK. I don't want to import it. Chaos Ronaldo regen. Okay. You'll never find me, Bullets, because you don't know who I am. Never! I was thinking Twisted Metal. But I think that's the biggest issue that Microsoft has right now. I think making a game I'm not sure if you've seen my latest video. I went over what Day One podcast was talking about, and I kind of broke it down. But I feel like there's four tests that Microsoft needs to do, and once they've done those tests, they're going to decide where they're going. But as long as the games are available, hey, look, there's no need to get nasty, Gorsty. I know that's the crap player that you want out of Liverpool. But yeah, once they figure what model works for them, I think that's what they'll go with. But yeah, we should all be going back and through the Watch Dogs series now. Why should we go through the Watch Dogs series? Oh, for the whole ID verification. Yeah. The ID verification stuff just came in because, well, it normally took like 12 months for our government to push any legislation through of that kind. They introduced a new act that allows them to push through legislation in like 2-3 weeks, a lot faster. And so everything now falls behind that act to get pushed through in the guise of safety of children. The mad bastard. So it sucks, and it's not something our Prime Minister did that was great, but it is what it is. Xbox not getting Wukong on Baldur's Gate was a PR nightmare. It was. It absolutely was. But it's going to happen more and more. So how do you guys suggest they get around that problem? There's a lot of people that want games, Xbox to go back to the Wonder Years. It's not going to fully go back to that, right? I still see games going day and date to some places and other games being timed exclusive. I don't expect them to ever be fully exclusive. But how do you propose that Microsoft does it? If they want to sell the console and the hardware, how do you propose that they do it? Hey, Paul, have a good night, my dude. Hey, look, I am bald. Look at all this lovely hair. I'm not bald. Chat, tell him I'm not bald. Wukong was on Steam. It was on PlayStation and Steam, day one. And then Xbox got it a year later. Timed exclusives don't work. I agree. People are just going to wait. You don't think they can go back? I don't think they can go fully back. That's it, Banisher. But that's going to piss off a whole bunch of people. And with Helix being what it is, it ain't going to happen. Because Microsoft is fully committed to PC. I think they're more committed to PC than they are to console. So that's not going to happen either. Helix is what gets around the problem because they bring them kind of games to... Bring them kind of games of PC to PC too. Both them games were on PC. They launched on PlayStation. See, Helix will get around that problem a lot. Right? Helix will get around a lot of problems. They're going to turn around and get rid of, games like niche games like Trails in the Sky, the Yi series, loads of these like JRPGs that don't ever come to Xbox. The Atelier series, those are all available on Steam that will work on Helix. Right? So why would I buy a Helix if I've got a powerful PC? Or if I don't have a powerful PC, but my PC is perfectly fine, I've got my Series X there. What is Helix going to offer me that these two combinations won't? See, I want Xbox to succeed. I want Xbox to be the best console out there, so it gets all the games and it never misses anything. But it needs a USP, and it really dug itself into a hole. And I hope that Asha Sharma and her new team of experts that are coming in will find a way to, incentivize people to go down this route. With Helix coming along, I suspect, Xbox Live is going to be gone. That's a really good move, right? Pushing that you don't need to have two HDMIs used on your TV because your console now will do 2-in-1. That's nice. Not the true incentive, but it's still a nice perk. But maybe turn around, if they offer like really good discounts on games, they just need to offer something to say, hey, spending $1,000 on this console, yes, it's expensive, but this is why it's worth your time. And they need to communicate that to the consumer to say, you shouldn't buy this other alternative. You shouldn't go this way and build the PC. The Helix is for you, and this is why. And they need to come with that. They've already enabled Xbox mode on PCs, so you can plug your PC into your TV, even though they've disabled the key feature to boot into Xbox mode, which is weird. I don't understand that at all. So maybe that's coming later. But, you know, that's something that they do need to get out there. Do you know how much Sony would have to pay, Jesse, to stop it from going onto PC? No third-party publisher is prepared to do that. Sony would have to pay them so much money that it's just not worth their time. When was the last third-party game that you saw Sony money hat that didn't release day one on PC? When was the last time you saw a game? And there's a reason for that. But when was the last time you saw Sony money hat a game? I mean, look at the latest Silent Hill game that's going to be on PS5, not on the Xbox Series consoles for a whole year or so. But it is day one on PC. So, is Neo 3 not on PC? Stellar Blade was probably the last one, I think. Because, that was literally built from ground up. Free is on PC, that's what I thought. And Stellar Blade was pretty much built to be only on PlayStation. They ported it after. Now, I think Xbox could blossom into something even greater than it already is, but people's mentalities need to change on what they want from Xbox. Like, Xbox at the moment has become so big in nature and so evolved from what they originally was. Because originally they was just a box under your TV. Now they're just everywhere. The way Sarah and Phil expanded them into cloud, onto TVs, the Fire Sticks, and all of this, they've really just spread Microsoft so thin. And they can't really come back from that. They can't just take it off the TVs. They can't take it off the Fire Sticks. They can't take it off cloud devices. It's there now. Taking it off would be silly. So they've got to work around that. I remember Stellar Blade seeing the first Project Eve trailer. I was sold the moment I saw that because it reminded me of Nier Automata, one of my favorite games of all time. And Microsoft has pushed a lot of people, Susano, onto PC because that's what's, they wanted. But Sanchez, again, we come back to my question. How do they stop people? Let's say, for example, they made I'll go back to my original example. Spawn, Captain America 4 exclusive, console exclusive to Xbox. Massive game, console seller. But wait a minute. I can just play it on my TV, right? Because it's being published by Microsoft. So it's going to be on all the cloud services. Or I can just play it on my PC. The moment you give someone an out to get out of your ecosystem to buy the game, you're losing reasons to buy your hardware. You guys have a thing for Tony Danza, huh? Do you think I feel like everything Sarah Bond has done to Xbox has destroyed Xbox? And I think they went down a different approach. I think after the Xbox One disaster, they didn't really know which way to go, and they tried everything. And they brought in someone from EE, Sarah, who if you look at her work with EE, she blew up EE like crazy. So she did amazing work at EE, right? Her EE exponentially expanded crazy here in the UK and around the world, really. So she was good at what she did, but the console breed is different, and this is what people don't understand. Consoles are a different breed of a market. Their growth, their support is different. It gauge is different. It's not the same as everything else. And people just don't get that. The higher ups, anyway. EE is a mobile company. Like mobile tariffs. Think of it like Verizon or something. Trepang is supposed to be really good. I've heard really good things. Apparently, on the hardest difficulty setting, it's like a nightmare. But people often say that I hate Xbox. No, it's not. That's not what. That's not the case, right? It's not that I have any ill will towards them. I'm an Xbox fan through and through. But I just want them to do better. I want them to be in the fight because competition is healthy for the consumer. Competition means we get better games. Competition means that prices stay low. Competition means that as a consumer, sure, we may miss out on other certain things because of different games going to different platforms, but ultimately, in theory, we get a better product, a better service. When it's lopsided to one player, and that is right now Sony's PlayStation, they can do whatever they like and no one's saying anything because they have no competition. They can release any shoddy thing they want. They know their fan base is going to lap it up like there's no tomorrow. Even if it's just a CGI trailer, they'll say that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they know that that's going to happen. They know those diehard ones will fight. But there's no competition. And they need competition. That's all I want from Xbox. Satya Nadella came out and said, if you want us to compete, let us compete. Well, bloody compete then. Stop bending over and taking it. Competition is good. Is that what it costs? 120,000 points. I ended up buying one, Kage. It dropped down to £100 here in the UK during the Black Friday deals. That was the cheapest I've seen it, so I just picked a terabyte up. I had to, man. My Xbox was dying. It had no space at all. If Xbox stuck to their original vision of 2013, we'd be way further along with a lot of these devices and features we have now. We're effectively 10 years behind, essentially. In what way? That I want competition and I want Xbox to compete with Sony so we get better products and better games and better experiences and lower prices? Wolverine is going to be a 12-hour mid SBI game with no replayability. See, the no replayability part, I don't care. And honestly, the 12-hour part, I don't care about either. I don't want 500. I mean, part of the reason why I'm not playing Crimson Desert, outside of the fact that it just doesn't appeal to me, is the fact that I keep hearing, oh, I've spent 5,000 hours in this game and I still haven't completed it. I have a life. I just want to get through games. I can't imagine playing a game for 500 hours that's not a live service. Yeah, ways to go. I recently used my points, Kage, to get Fatal Frame, the 2 Fatal Frame games on Xbox. They aren't Play Anywhere, but they dropped down to like £22 each. Not the latest one, but those two. So I picked them up. Good stuff. There are AI features for the ROG Ally X devices. I mean, Reforge is a PlayStation stand all the way, yeah. There's no two ways about it. But I was curious about it. Did Sanchez actually reply to that? My question. Because I asked him what way. Uh, in what way am I an Xbox fan like the rest? Like, what did you mean by that? If Xbox only focuses on Xbox Game Pass, more people might leave. I can't see them focusing on Game Pass all the way through. See, if the games are only going to be on Game Pass and Game Pass doesn't hit like 200-300 million subscribers, then they can't. It's just not going to be feasible because the money they make on Game Pass doesn't really go to the studios. They get a portion of something from there, but they don't actually get enough to cover their profit and loss accounts. They need sales, and that's part of the reason why, things are the way they are. Copilot is one thing. That's not the only way AI can be used. But yeah, I understand the Copilot thing, but like for example, Auto SR is AI powered, right? That's on the Xbox Ally consoles. That's on the developer preview users. Yeah, we've seen it. Copilot is stopping, but that isn't the only form of AI that's being used. Gears E-Day will be a 60 Metascore. You gotta be crazy. Wasn't Reforge an Xbox fan but flipped? I don't know. I know he was a Destiny fan, and then all that shit broke out and they deleted his account, and then he went somewhere else. And then he came back as Reforge Gaming. I can't even remember what he used to be called now. Lono, that's it. He used to be called Lono. And then that shit broke out at the Destiny convention and how he allegedly did stuff and then admitted to it and then took it all back. And said he didn't. Even though there's videos of him out there admitting to actually doing it. By 2030? That's a long time, It was Say No to Rage. But it was called Lono, right? Lono is his name. Is that his real name? Did his parents hate him? What do you mean People Can Fly sucks? They're a good team. They just got screwed over by Square Enix. I don't want Xbox to go full PlayStation. I don't want them to go back to full exclusives. I'm fully aware that they can't go back to the way it was. But Microsoft is going to start removing games off Game Pass eventually down the road and saying this ain't going to be day one on Game Pass. Like, it's going to happen. They've done it once and they'll do it. They'll continue to do it. And how many times in chat have I said, how many times, that for me personally, financially, Game Pass has saved me tons of money. I wouldn't want Game Pass to leave at all. But we're also seeing games just being pushed out for the sake of it as filler when it comes to Game Pass. We're also seeing the standard of gaming just dropping because neither Sony or Microsoft care anymore. Because there's no competition. They don't have to rush out to win your money. Competition brings quality. They have, when you're competing like they were back in the 360 days, they were competing for your choice of gaming. Right? They were both fighting hard, and Sony fought head over heels, and pretty much till the end of the PS3 to turn it around. And then during the PS4 era and the Xbox One era, well, Microsoft kind of made the mistake of the whole DRM debacle and Kinect and TV, and Sony moved in for the kill, and they just kept on pushing out game after game that was of a high quality. They kept on, excluding games from Xbox by money hatting them or getting extra features and whatnot. And Microsoft just was powerless to do anything. But when you're competing, that's when you get the best. Because they're all fighting to get your money. When they're not competing, you don't get that. Of course, they're still trying to money hat. They will continue to money hat until there's no point in their money hatting when the Helix lands. The only thing that they can money hat at that point is if they take it off PC as well. That would be funny to see. You know? Right now, if the next console doesn't sell, they might stop making consoles and go. That's always a possibility, dude. I think depending on how Helix does, will determine what they do next. One thing that Microsoft has repeatedly said is that they want to be in the living room. That has been their biggest goal, and the console is that gateway into the living room. The whole purpose of the original Xbox was so they could infiltrate the living room so they wouldn't give it to Sony and PlayStation, because the PS1 was doing such a great job with it. And so they wanted to disrupt that, and they released the Xbox. That's been one of their guiding principles the whole time. I don't really see that disappearing, because if they lose Xbox in the living room, what else do they really have? I actually like Judgment, even though Judgment was weird. I only played it last year, Gears Judgment. I played it in co-op with Steve, and I actually enjoyed it. It was different, though. It was very different to the normal Gears. Even though GTA 6 is coming to Xbox, Sony is going to make it look like it's not. I mean, Jesse, they did that with Hogwarts Legacy, right? They did I remember seeing the promotional art for it, and it had Hogwarts Legacy and all this, and underneath they had that extra mission that was only on PlayStation at the time. And so they put only on PlayStation in the middle, directly above that mission. And a lot of people thought that that game wasn't available on Xbox. Even some of the Xbox casuals that I know, they believed that it wasn't on Xbox, and so they ended up buying it on PlayStation instead, because they didn't know it was available on Xbox because of the way Sony marketed it. So I don't doubt that they're going to try something like that, but I think GTA might just be too big of a game for even the casuals to not know it's coming to Xbox. Only time Grand Theft Auto was ever exclusive with San Andreas, and Microsoft turned down San Andreas exclusivity, didn't they? They were offered it first, and Microsoft said San Andreas is not going to sell. It's not a big product. They're not wasting their time with a new IP. But they're kicking themselves in the foot with that one. Because it costs money. It costs a lot of money. And being realistic, the only adverts that marketing that I truly do actually remember now, because don't forget, everyone's got ad block, right? So you're not going to see the banners and stuff like that. Because where I used to work, we did the advertising for Microsoft for their games. The last one I worked on was Hellblade 2. And they resorted from like web page takeovers and stuff like this down to just banners. And even then, they disappeared as well because people use ad block and stuff like this, so you don't even see them. So there's no return of interest on that sort of advertising. The advertising that does give you a return are the big extravagant ones, and they cost a buttload of money. You know, like the Spider-Man one they had on Times Square, the new Pragmata one that they had down in London recently, the God of War one that was not far from where I used to work. You've got the Astrobot one that was really cool. There was an awesome one for Genshin Impact. There was a Final Fantasy 14 one down in central London where they just erected a massive aetheryte and all the fans came around and they got a bunch of interest. They saw a massive spike in people going for the free trial to check it out, and hopefully some of those converted into paying customers, right? But you need to be doing stuff like that now. That is the sort of advertising that catches your attention. Super Bowl is another one. You don't really see any, is another one that's really expensive, but you don't see them there anymore, right? So it's just they don't want to spend the money. I mean, they also turned down Final Fantasy 16 exclusivity. They turned down Genshin Impact being on Xbox, and a few others. They turned down Spider-Man as well. Marvel approached Microsoft first for Spider-Man. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes here that were made. It's not just one. There's a lot. Yeah, exactly, Kage. That sort of marketing is what will, like, I remember that marketing because it was so good. And if you ask people, they will remember that because it was everywhere. All the websites were reporting on it. It was everywhere. But the other ones, like, on the actual globe that they have, I think in LA, it's not really a big deal. Or they had like a light posted onto a building that Microsoft did. That doesn't scream, I want to remember this. It needs to be out there, extravagant. And they've done a few, and it just needs more of that. More sales than Xbox next gen. See, I don't think next gen Microsoft is looking at how many. They want to sell the console, obviously, but if it's going to be priced at $1,000, even Microsoft can't expect the same level of output in terms of purchases as they have now. I think they'll be looking, if we can get like 30, 40 million sold, I think they'll be over the moon. At that price point, they'll be over the moon. And if it's even more expensive than that, then that number is going to, expectations should go down. Sunset Overdrive was so good, man. It was actually my kid. Some of you may know him because he streams Mini Bambi. He actually started playing Sunset Overdrive, and I was just watching him one day. I remember, and I was like, "What is this?" And he goes, "Sunset." And I've seen you playing this before now. And he goes, "Yeah, but I just love the game so much." And then he started showing me all the cool stuff that he could do in there, and I just sat watching him playing it. It was a really good time, man. Yeah, if it's timed exclusive, those people that want to play it day one are going to find a way to play it day one. And if you've already bought it, look, I've got Stellar Blade, for example, on PlayStation 5, right? I've played it, I've completed it, I'm working on getting all the costumes. If they release that tomorrow on Xbox, I'm not buying it. I'm not doing all that work again. I've got my save. I was even given a copy on PC, which I checked out, tested. It was fine, and I spoke about it. But I'm not going to play the PC version because I've already got my profile on PC. I mean, on PlayStation. Where you play it's not about it's okay if they get it 5 years later. It's going to lose sales because people have already played it. The impact that it would have had during the hype of the game, it's not there. Like, do you remember Helldivers 2? The amount of hype that got. Power World, the amount of hype that got. Everyone was talking about it. Even people that didn't care about those games wanted to buy it just so they could be involved. Releasing it 2 years down the line, you don't have that hype following it anymore. You don't have that, that drive. Because it's kind of gone past the point, and now it's just looking for stragglers along the way that can rebump the player base. But I did agree with what Phil Spencer said when it came to Helldivers 2. What benefit does it have keeping this off Xbox when that sort of a game is designed for the Xbox community? Right? Say what you will, Helldivers is a bro game, and Xbox is a bro console. And that game, had it launched day one on Xbox, it would have blown the sales charts. But Sony decided that they knew otherwise. Yeah, I mean, they don't work. If a game has the hype, people are going to buy the console to play it that day or find a way to play it. I think 3 months would have been fine for a game like that, especially a live service game. Sometimes Devastator, I really think they do. Sometimes I really think they do. Because some of what they do just don't make sense. Talking about exclusives, Forza Horizon 6 is a console-timed exclusive right now, and people are playing it as of right now. And Paris over here is going to give his impressions on May the 14th at 5 a.m. Pacific time. So, nope, I did not get a copy. I did apply for one, though, but I didn't get it. So, it is what it is. I am playing through, what is it? Will Follow the Light. Great game. I really like it. I'm really enjoying those type of games. I was given early access for that one. So, I'm checking that one out, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. That one is going to be available on Xbox as well. So, yeah. But Forza Horizon 6 is now out in the wild, and it is being enjoyed by the many. I don't have data from Microsoft. I mean, they don't give any data. So you guys excited for Forza Horizon? Apparently Bond is the response to Bond has been really good. There has been a few criticisms for it, but overall the general response from those people that are playing 007 right now has been really popular. In fact, some say it could be Game of the Year, even though that's impossible because GTA is going to be there and that's going to be another Expedition 33 and take every award there is. Which kind of sucks for the big games out there, that, these good games that are coming, but they are totally going to be overshadowed by GTA 6. Apparently, it's not. When you play it, according to the videos that I've watched, it doesn't actually play like Hitman. It doesn't feel like Hitman. So, that's kind of a good thing. I'm not going to say anything about the story because some of them have told me about it. Well, some of the videos I watched kind of went into how the game starts, so I'm not going to go into that just because I know people want to experience it firsthand. So be careful when you're watching those videos of people talking about it, you know, doing their playtests and stuff like that. They do actually go into, you know, how it starts, a bit of the story. So if you want to stay away from that, just don't watch them. I've had it spoiled a little bit, so it is what it is. I think GTA 6 is going to get delayed as well. I've been saying that for ages. I can't see it not being delayed, but I think it's going to be delayed. But apparently, GTA 6 needs to sell 25 million copies to be successful. 25 million copies. Gorsty, do you think Jeff Keighley is going to keep GTA off the list? Do you think Jeff Keighley is going to keep GTA 6 off the Game of the Year awards? Like, do you actually foresee a world where that is going to happen? He makes his own rules up as he goes along. You know this. Indiana Jones released in December, though, right? Not in November. GTA will be at the Game Awards. I guarantee you. But on the topic of GTA, the Bank of America. That is Paris, yes. Well, it was Paris. The Bank of America says, we think it's in Take-Two's self-interest as a publisher and partner to many developers to raise the price point for the entire industry. The Bank of America says GTA 6 needs to be priced at $80, and it would inspire and help the whole industry to raise the price from $70 to $80. You agree? Are you crazy, Susano? Are you out of your mind? What the hell? Soulless Trash versus Legendary? Oh, the eBay stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Apparently, GameStop said that they are the best people equipped to understand and bring eBay back to glory. I mean, the other one, Xbox failed badly, zero game sales on even PS5. Apart from two, which is Sea of Thieves and Forza Horizon 5, he's not far off wrong from that one. Is that Ranting for Vengeance that guy that is really weird and odd and cringe? Dreamcast guy really hates Xbox, yeah. I mean, I don't even think he hates Xbox because he's openly admitted to doing it for the viewable numbers, which is why I don't generally watch his content anymore. See, if I don't like something, you guys know I don't like something. If I like something, you guys know. Even if it is against what you guys might feel. Like, for example, The Last of Us 2. I enjoyed that. I think it's a really good game. I know a lot of you don't like it and think it's trash, but that's my opinion, and I'll stick to it. People like him will say it is bad even though he's enjoying it. And because of that, his opinion doesn't matter. If you're going to be fake, then there's no point in even having a discussion. Why do you hate Paris? He's a nice guy. Why? All I'm saying is they make standard edition of games $100. I'm not buying. I don't think many people will. Look, I used to buy loads of games. How can you hate the Resident Evil 4 remake? I haven't played it, but the videos I've seen of it and the reaction I've seen from it is great. I do intend to play through the Resident Evil remake series, by the way, over at my other channel. Which, if you guys haven't actually seen or watched my channel update, please do. My Let's Play streams and community nights are going to move over to my Chaos Lounge gaming channel. It's on YouTube, but we'll also be dual streaming those Let's Plays over to Twitch as well. So if you haven't actually seen that video, it's like a 5-minute video. Go check it out as it gives you a full update on what's changing and moving over there. And the reasons why. And if you haven't yet, and you're new to this channel, subscribe and hit that like button. I appreciate it. I found someone with a serious hate for Resident Evil. I don't understand how someone could hate Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you like Resident Evil 4 Remake, you're somehow regarded... Well, I know what you're supposed to say there. And that Resident Evil 4 Remake copied... It... What? That guy's stupid. You know what? It might actually be worth watching. Just for a little laugh. But Devastator, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the 5. I mean, that's a bit harsh. I mean, Tilu didn't read... The first one didn't really end, did it? Yeah, I'll check that one out a little later in the stream. But yeah. Look, sorry, before I got distracted. When games were priced at £50, I used to buy quite a lot. Then it went to £60, and I was like, oh, it's starting to get to the point where, you know, it's a bit iffy now. It's a bit iffy. And then they went to 70. And the moment they got to 70, it got really close to 100. And so now I think twice, do I really want this? Am I going to play day one? Is it something I want to invest in? And 9 out of 10, the answer to that is no. Because my mind doesn't see 70, it sees closer to 100 now. It's moved a fair chunk away from 50. So if they start going to 80, that question just becomes greater, and I just stop buying more games. And this is why Game Pass is such a great, thing for me, because it means I don't have to pay all that money for those games. It also means that the niche games that I want to buy, like Trails in First Chapter, I buy those. Unfortunately, those games aren't on Xbox, so Xbox doesn't get my money and someone else does. But the money that I would normally spend on those games, now I'm spending on other platforms because Xbox doesn't get those games. But the more the price goes up, the less I buy. It's really that simple. It wasn't PlayStation that started 70, it was Take-Two. Take-Two released their first game at 70. I know people often remember it was PlayStation, and I did as well for the longest time. But if you Google it, it was Take-Two, I believe, that started the $70. And that's why everyone is looking at Take-Two to make it 80. Because once they do it, everyone follows. Nintendo tried and failed. But if Take-Two do it, everyone else will follow. No. I was a little surprised because I thought it was as well, but when I went back to the actual showcase, it was never there. But it'll be interesting to see if they do that and how that would impact sales. See, for a game like GTA, I don't think they need to put the price up to 80. In fact, I think they can get away with making it 60, right? Because they're going to make most of their money through Game Shark. People that are going to be playing GTA 6's online multiplayer and buying those shark cards is where they're going to be making most of their money. They're going to make billions upon billions through the shark card sales. So the more, giving people an cheaper entry to get in and onto that multiplayer service where they're going to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars and pounds, that's where the money is. Not at the purchase price of the game, it's at the microtransactions. That's where it is. Yeah, that's silly because, I've got a hard time finding a reason to buy it at 70 because I probably will end up buying it only because people will want me to stream it, but that will literally be the only reason. I genuinely don't have any, I didn't play San Andreas. I haven't played any GTA myself properly since Grand Theft Auto 2. GTA 3, my younger brother played it, so I just watched him playing it a little bit every then. And I've just never had this interest in GTA. I just never have. It's just been that one game that's truly never appealed. When it was free on Game Pass, I did jump into it. I think I played it for about an hour or two just to see what the hype was all about. GTA 5. I just can't get into it. I just don't. I just found it boring. Honestly, I never liked it, and so it's never been one of those games that I've just rushed over for. But again, my community also wants me to play. What is that really shoddy crap game from Team Killer, which I did purchase for £6 because it was on sale on PlayStation, but I ended up buying that for £6 because they want me to play it. Something about error. It's so bad I've kind of masked it out of my mind as well. Don't be stupid. Final Fantasy I'd pay everything for. I even bought the new Final Fantasy 9 book. I've pre-ordered it. It's done. If it's Final Fantasy that or Nier, those are my two Achilles heels. Quantum Era, that's the one. See, I knew a Scouser would remember it. I've played Redfall. I actually really like Redfall. I played it with Bruno. In co-op, that game is so much fun. Especially when you're using the skills combined with other players. I really had a good time with Redfall. And I'm not ashamed to say it either. I really did enjoy it. In co-op, it's good fun. Solo, it can get a bit, repetitive. But there's always something different happening in co-op. And so, it's cool. I really liked it. I don't even care if people clip that. I really liked it. So, a prequel to Final Fantasy IX is in the works. It's a book. And it basically gives you a background on Vivi and his grandpa. So it's about £13 on Amazon. So I pre-ordered it straight away. Final Fantasy, and I'm there. Do you know how big my back catalog is? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. When am I going to play Code Violet? When this channel hits 10,000 subs. I told you, man. This channel hits 10,000 subs. I've got a world of pain waiting for me. I've got finishing Gollum, finishing Kong, because we did those two in a stream a little bit. I've got The Walking Dead Destinies. I don't know why you guys hate me that much for that one. I've got Quantum Error, and then I've got Code Violet. I think there's a good chance 17 might do after the success of Expedition 33. I just hope that they don't go with that whole silly Paris system. Not every game needs that. Do you know what, Susano? At 20k, if we get to 20k by the end of this year, I'll shave my head. Okay, look, Dustborn is going too far now, Ragey. Dustborn is just going too far. That would need like 40,000 subs. I'm going to play My Little Pony. Man, what is it with you guys? Do you hate me that much? You guys literally want me to play the worst games ever. We've got a plan at 10k subs. Probably won't get there by the end of the year. And then our agreement fails, because we did say until the end of this year. At least then I can move the goalposts a little bit. And extend my sanity's security. No, that's Steve. Steve's 1,000 pointed it already. But I don't even... No. Forza Horizon 6 loyalty rewards. Players who have played Forza Horizon 4 or 5 will receive bonus cars. For Forza Horizon 5, you get the 2021 Mercedes AMG 1. And you get the 2016 Aston Martin Vulcan. For Forza Horizon 4. This is a missed typo. So, that's kind of cool. Loyalty bonus. So, even if you haven't played it yet, just boot it up, play a couple of races. I think that should be enough to guarantee you it. 2 free cars is 2 free cars. The ads in Final Fantasy 15? Oh, the ramen ones. Yeah, I know. But 15 got butchered, right? 15 got heavily butchered. 15 got heavily butchered. They had to rip out like so much of the story because of China. Starfield, it's time to gather your crew and prepare your fleet. King Gaff creates Epic Quest Watchtower is now available on PS5. Now, I know a bunch of you here are PS5 players, so Starfield's one of their best add-ons, Watchtower, which is not made by Bethesda, but actually made by Arando, is now ported over and available right now on PS5. So if you're interested in that, go pick it up. Apparently it's really damn good. Mate, you guys are still running games that make me want to throw myself out the window. If you're referring to the other half being the DLC, go look around and see how much they actually ripped out because China refused to allow the game to release because it had some cult following. It was talking, the original house that Noctis was in was a death cult. And apparently that goes against China's rules and regulations, so it's not allowed. And so they had to basically just rip stuff out because they didn't have time to rewrite it. Sucks. Play Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2? I wouldn't mind one day. I've already started Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Just seeing Squirrel with a gun is 89p on CD keys. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. I got it with a Humble Bundle when I gave it to my kid, Minnie, because he wanted to stream it. I don't know if he ever did, actually. But, yeah. So, Imran Khan says, I know for certain that Xbox executives firmly believe that the Xbox tax existed and would mention it in meetings with the media. They couldn't be convinced that they were imagining it. So the media was turning around and telling Xbox executives, according to Imran Khan, that there is no Xbox tax. It's all a figment of your imagination. Can you? If this is actually real and true, that Xbox executives firmly believed that the Xbox tax existed, that's crazy. And they still treat the media the same way. Do you know what, gaming? Just for you, I am going to go check and see if there is a Hertzman. And if there is a Hertzman, then I'll check it out. But only Hertzman and only for you. I'll do that just for you. Now, if you had said Huntsman, that would have been different. But you said Hertzman. And that's one I'm willing to accept. That's kind of crazy though, right? They've been basically telling the media that the Xbox tax is real. Why the hell are you doing this? And the media's like, nah, it's just a figment of your imagination. Man, that's got to be weird, man. That's got to be weird and crazy. Let's speed up with this, because we're getting to the end and I want to check out that video. Gunbird. If you haven't seen these are fun games. They are on the backwards compatible, I believe. But either way, they're dirt cheap at the moment on Xbox. I am going to pick them up. See, these are the type of pricings that I really like. I just buy them because one day I'll play them. Even if it ain't today. At $2.99, it's a steal. And I'm going to buy them. So, if you haven't bought them, nah, you said Hertzman, and I'm going to look up and see if Hertzman is there. Can't change it now, gaming. Can't change it now. We made an agreement. Gunbird, these are old, man. You've never played these games before? I could get a trailer for you if you... Let me get a trailer for you. Because I am going to play... That's a crazy video from Devastator.
So in the last few days...
Okay, let's... Gunbird. It's a scrolling shooter. How long? I love these games. They're so good. I literally grew up on these games, man. And at $2.99, you just cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. I can't say I have. Hey, like I said, it's for $2.99 you can't go wrong. It's a good deal for $2.99. No, I'll check that one out in a sec. Gaming Odyssey. Yeah, for the price. I mean, that's the type of thing that I look at, right? And on the price, and I say to myself, do you know what? That's a no-brainer. I'm going to pick that one up. That sort of pricing is a no-brainer for me. Alien Rogue Incursion is getting a physical release. Standard Xbox Steelbox goes. You got a standard and Steelbox version. Goes up for pre-order on Limited Run Gaming, so I'm not buying from them. It takes forever. But it kind of looked nice. And if you want the physical for your Xbox or whatever, this is the place to go. Pre-order start on May 8th to June 7th. Steelbook edition does look really nice though. Not gonna lie. Jesse, it's all in good fun. If you ever go back and check out my experience with Kong and Gollum, it was special. And the community loved it. The community loved it. Much at my dismay. I know the Steelbox looks insane, right? I do like it. I just don't like the limited run. I mean, how much is it? Let's see. The standard edition is $49.99. The Steelbox is $69.99. So it's not badly priced. Although I think the Steelbox is only available on... Is it available? It is available on Xbox as well. It's available on PC. It is! Probably only get a code in there. But yeah. It was hilarious. Yes, you did. Valve say the Steam controller ran out faster than we anticipated because they're all on eBay. And we hate that not everyone who wanted one was able to get it because they're all on eBay. We're working on getting more stock so you can put them on eBay, and we will have an update on expected timeline soon so you can get ready to scalp them and put them on eBay. Now, a really cool thing that eBay is doing right now is that if you actually go to them and report scalpers on eBay, they're actually taking down the ads. I don't really understand why they're doing that. I mean, it's a good thing, but essentially people are just buying to sell. But apparently there's something that it kind of violates where they're putting something for sale with a promise to deliver it at a release date in some kind. So that apparently violates some TOS. So if you want to actually go out your way and screw these people over, all it takes is one email with a report and the ad gets taken down. So just so you know, in case those people... Hey, Chili, thank you so much for the 26 months of support over 2 years. I appreciate you, dude. Valve has also reportedly fewer than 250,000 Steam machines ready for the hardware launch. This is expected to be somewhere between $600 and $800 on release. So 200,000 of these are going to be on eBay for about $1,500 to $2,000. So if you are interested in this, make sure you are ready. There is going to be a shit show for the availability. I 100% agree. Still not really seeing the reason for this, but hey, it's there if people want it. How you doing, Chili? And as you know, the Steam controller officially arrived, and with its arrival, it instantly went out of stock as well. Although in the UK, it was actually there for a number of hours. I checked it and I was able to buy it if I wanted it, but it doesn't work on PC. So I saw no reason to actually buy one. Imagine buying a PC controller that doesn't work on PC. Kind of weird, right? You have 3 S-Class characters in NTE? Nice. Yeah, I got my Fadia, so I am happy. NTE is... I'm enjoying NTE. It's locked to Steam only, yeah. Now, there are ways you can get around it, like installing glossy and going through other ways. But even then, if you want the games to work, you have to load them into Steam. So if you've got, let's say you've got an Xbox PC game and you launch it through there, you have to find the executable for the Xbox PC, load it into Steam, so it's in the Steam launcher, and then launch it through the Steam launcher, which will piggyback off your Xbox launcher and boot the game, but then the controller will work. But if you don't do that, it just doesn't work. So the moment they actually, because I wanted to buy the Steam controller, right? I genuinely did. But the moment they went out their way, and I actually read in the interview that the lead designer or product, the creator of the actual Steam controller, he basically turned around and said that they could have added a mode which allows you to switch between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Because apparently Sony and Microsoft gave them permission, gave them the go ahead to make it compatible with PlayStation and Xbox. And they said that the gaming community is so dumb and stupid and brain dead that using a mode change button to change the modes of the controller would be so difficult for them that it would make them go mentally insane and put into an asylum. The creator of the Steam controller thinks you're all dumb pieces of shit. So after that, I said, "Yeah, you're okay, man. You can keep your garbage. I'm okay. I don't want it." And if you want to go read the interview, it's there. He basically said that. He turned around and said that we as gamers are so dumb that we can't. It would be too difficult for us to understand how to press a button to change the mode on the controller. Screw him, man, and screw Valve. I'll keep my money and spend it elsewhere. Don't worry, Ghosty. After I hit 10,000 subs, I'll be there with you. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 live support has been officially extended into a third year. Publisher Focus Entertainment has announced. So expect more stuff, hopefully. I think it's hit 12 million players now. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I still need to play it. But that's insane. I'm really happy for its success, and I hope they continue that success moving forward. I hope they actually made quite a bit of money so we can get a Space Marine free. Lumen options? Nah, NT is fine. You can talk what you want, man. What did they give free on PS Plus? Space Marine? Probably. It's an old game now. Guerrilla Games. They want to invite you all to our next Hunters Gathering closed playtest planned for May. So you're not going to invite everyone if it's a closed playtest, is it? If you want it, you can apply for entry and see how it goes. There's the link. Grab it. That could be kind of cool. Devastator. It's a multiplayer game, right? I think that's cool. Do you know what? Believe it or not, you're not going to believe me here, right? But I've actually really been enjoying Kiln. I've actually been putting time. I think I'm like level 7 on there now. I play a few games almost daily now. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's such a good game. It's some of the pots that I'm seeing are ridiculous. This guy made the pot as big as you can freaking get it. It's like, how are you expected to move? But it's still hilarious to see some of the designs, and I'm genuinely enjoying it. It was a real shame on a community night that not many people had it downloaded. It would have been a lot of fun to play through. It's really good, and it plays perfectly on the LIX as well. So really damn cool. Killzone would be good. I liked Killzone. The Dark Pictures new game. Directive 8020 trajectory locked T-minus 7 days. Pre-order now. There's 1 week to go. Well, that was from today. So if you're looking forward to this, get your pre-orders in and say hello. Final Fantasy IX. Square Enix has announced a new official picture book prequel for Final Fantasy IX called Vivi and Grandpa's Memories for the Sky. It's a 44-page book which I've already pre-ordered. It was written by the original game's event director, Kazuhiko Aoki, with illustrations by character designer Toshiyuki Itahana. It tells the story of young Vivi from his first meeting with Grandpa Quan after getting caught on a fishing line and learning magic, up to the events before he leaves for Alexandria and connects to the upcoming Final Fantasy IX Magic: The Gathering set. So, cool stuff if you're interested in it. This is the type of artwork that's going to be in the book. Like I said, it's not expensive. I think it was like $13 in the US. $14, so good stuff if you're interested in it. You imported it from Japan? Dark Pictures Trilogy. You know, maybe for Halloween, that might be good because they're pretty good for Halloween games. There's just too many games I want to play and not enough time, man. Stranger Than Heaven is having a presentation tomorrow. I'm probably going to leave this for Thursday, so we can check it out on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming probably Pragmata. I'm going to be trying something really crazy tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming with all my bandwidth, so things could go horribly wrong. Over at Chaos Lounge Gaming, Twitch, I'm going to be doing a YouTube vertical stream as well. So it all at the same time from my same machine. It will be pulling out everything. So things are either going to go really, really well tomorrow or really, really bad. So feel free to turn up to those on those channels and check it out. It's going to be interesting. All right, Remedy. Q1 investor report. Control has sold 6 million copies. Profitable start for 2026. Control Resentment is progressing well and is on track for a 2026 release. So, yeah, cool stuff. Okay, so let's check out this one video that I wanted to check out. Oh wait, there was a trailer, wasn't there? A 2-minute trailer. Odyssey. Is it a movie? Odyssey's a movie. I can't show that on stream. That would instantly get me demonetized. Not that I'm not going to get demonetized, but that would instantly get me demonetized. There's literally no recovering from that.
So in the last few days, this video released.
Alright, so let's check this one out. Let's react to this one. This is the one that Devastator sent me. Alright.
So in the last few days, this video...
Yeah, it's a Chris Nolan film. But if I put it on stream, that's instant demonetized. I mean, I'm probably going to be demonetized, but that one guarantees it.
Released, splitting the entire Resident Evil fanbase into two groups. One group being the real fans of the Resident Evil franchise who have actually played the games and prefer the original Resident Evil 4 to the remake. And the other side is the biggest group of retards known to man who are losing their minds because somebody has a different opinion. Before we get into it, if you like these type of videos and if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I'm really not a fan of YouTube internet drama, but this is something that I really do agree with, and I really disagree with the way that a whole mob of woke people just appear and start attacking you when you have a different opinion. And that's...
What was that tweet? Resident Evil fans, when you say you like a game, so they immediately resort to
people just appear and start
this moment of the video is just fried me this guy just saying straight up. Do you know what? I actually said the latest if you haven't seen the latest trailer for the new Resident Evil movie, I asked a question about what in this movie is actually Resident Evil. And there is nothing in this trailer that makes this movie a Resident Evil. I still, to this day, have people complaining about that tweet from the Resident Evil fan base.
attacking you when you have a different opinion. And that's the funniest part about this entire thing, is that it's not even a political argument. It's just stating that the original Resident Evil 4 is obviously superior to the remake, and almost exclusively woke people are losing their minds. I don't think that the word woke should be thrown around loosely, but I do think that it applies here. So all that this video was saying, which was an objective fact, is that the remake took out many things, added in censorship, and is a downgrade in almost every single aspect. Instead of taking inspiration from the genius franchise that is Resident Evil, it instead took inspiration from the retarded franchise The Last of Us. But before I go on, I do have to say that I was a fan of the Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil 9, but over time thinking back on it, those games are barely Resident Evil games and don't even come close to the level of quality that was in the older games. I didn't even see how bad it really was with the Resident Evil 4 remake until I watched this video, because the entire internet and the game itself kind of deceives you into thinking that it's some awesome badass game, and in a way it is, because it's adapting a game that was badass and awesome in the original Resident Evil 4, when what it really did was take out too much stuff and change every single character. And as you can see here, there's tons of people defending this video, but at the same time there's some of the most insufferable fucktards making no sense. And this take here is 100% true.
Okay, he's not holding anything back. He's not holding anything. I think apparently Resident Evil 4 is the remake had a lot of stuff cut out. I'm still kind to try and work out what he's upset about. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But to answer your question, Susano, they said you know the scene in the trailer where the guy is in the little shack, little kind of shed, barn, whatever you want to call it, and he opens the rifle and there's no ammo in there. That's what makes it Resident Evil, because he's looking, you know, ammo is scarce, weapons are scarce, and so he's out there, you know, scavenging for stuff. So, in my eyes, that means Rambo is the new Resident Evil benchmark that you should go for, because Rambo was the king at running into places looking for ammo, looking for anything that he could use to make a weapon. So, confirmed, based on Resident Evil fans' criteria, Rambo is now a Resident Evil movie.
That the modern Resident Evil players aren't really trying to play an excellent game. Instead, they want a game that they can go tell their friends about or post online about in some weird gay way that's similar to K-pop Twitter. That's a massive issue with modern fan bases in general, that they treat these properties like gay fan fiction instead of what they actually are. When you're talking about masterpieces like the original Resident Evil games, the only word you can use is art, and never outdated or misogynistic or whatever shit these people are going to try to make up. And that's one thing that people are going to have to find out the hard way. It doesn't matter how many trans lunatics on Twitter lose their mind, or how many dislikes or how many bad comments a video gets. If you're making a valid point that's objective, a lot of people are going to agree with you, and especially the people who are actual fans. And that's one thing that I can deeply respect, that even in the face of the entire internet laughing at you, you continue to say the exact same thing you said before. And in this generation of
okay, what is he talking about? I mean, I guess you could say that as well, Devastator. Does anyone actually know what he's talking about? I'm so lost. Susano, check out that game that I was telling you about. It's good. I don't know what he's saying. Look, I'm a guy that can understand Scousers, Welsh people, Scottish people, and Irish people. I can understand clearly what they're saying and what they're trying to say. And that's not easy. Trust me. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I don't know any of those people either, Ghosty.
People who are either fucked in the head or just way too nice. To see somebody just being an asshole and standing up for what they believe in is something that I fully agree with. I'd rather be.
Yeah, sorry. I don't understand what he's saying, so there's no point in continuing. I kind of hoped I would understand what he's saying. I don't. There's no point in watching it if I'm not really getting. I can't work out what he's trying to say outside of the fact that he thinks. Does he think that Resident Evil 4 is woke, or is he complaining that people are saying it's woke, or is he saying that it's anti woke? And I can't tell where he's going. Oh, Chili, what did I do? I did. I can't work out what he's trying. I get he's a grifter. I just couldn't work out what he was actually trying to grift about. There was no logic following the path that he's actually talking. Okay, so he's saying Resident Evil 4 Remake is woke. Okay. I want to ask how you actually worked that out, but I'm not. Is there anything else over here that I'm thinking? Apparently, Nicola's on the same mindset as me. Asha, let me give you a $1 million feedback right here for free. See, I gave her a free feedback as well earlier, if you remember. See, the gaming community can be nice at times. Want Xbox to move, grow faster, deepen connection with community, retention, and address player developer friction? Keep everything Xbox, games, features, etc. within and only on Xbox. You are very welcome. He is not wrong. If that's what they want, that's the fastest way to grow. Kitsmove is saying that he didn't receive a code for Xbox as well for Forza Horizon, so like me, he's been rejected by Xbox. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. It's okay though. Sony's got me covered. They always have my back. Good on Sony. You know, I still suck at Saros. I still haven't beat the first boss. Yeah. You know, I need to jump into Final Fantasy 14 a lot more. I keep saying that. Oh no, not him. Not him. Anyone but him. I see, Ghosty. I see. Anyone but him, man. Anyone but him. I like Kid Smooth. I think he's all over the place at times, and you know, I think. But Jesus, have you guys seen what's happened to Marathon? 599 in game. That does not look good for Bungie, man. And the worst part is, Marathon is actually a good game, and it couldn't break through. It's actually a good game. If you like that sort of experience, it hits all the right notes, and it still could not, succeed. Apparently, Starfield is now being advertised on um cans, drink cans. I mean, I really like Marathon. I think it plays really well. It's way better than what the server slam they did, it has all the right notes, but it also has a problem of entry. And Astacross was made a really good suggestion. They should open up the game for one map and be permanently free to play. So if I'm enjoying it and I want, say, Gorsty to play it, right? I want Gorsty to play it, then that free to play map will be his entry to be able to download the game, jump into it with me, and check it out. And if he likes it and likes the co op experience, the multiplayer experience that we had, then it might convince him to buy it. I feel like this is what Bungie needs to do. I think it's a great idea, but Sony would never allow something like that. But it's just one map, not free to, the whole game isn't free to play, just one map. And I think that could do really well because the game is good, but the problem the game has is, by definition, people get upset that, hey, I've got all these items on me, I'm about to go to the extraction point, and I get ganked and I lose all my stuff, and people say, that's it, I'm done. The game is designed to do that. Your loss is someone else's gain. And that's just the way it's designed. But in order for you to have a good chance out there, in order to extract successfully, take out the bad guys, you need to risk your loot by equipping it and going out there to defeat those players and stuff with the best loot. Otherwise, you're just going to get trounced upon. But the entry between casual and elite, people want it to be way more casual friendly, and that would just push the top end of the echelon away. It's stuck in a rock and a hard place. But I think, the barrier to entry is part of the problem, and they need to find a way around that, or the game is just going to die. Starfield cans apparently are around the world, and they're doing these now. I don't know if they're actually giving anything away with this, any codes for XP or something like that, but it's kind of cool that they're doing that. That's the sort of advertisement that they do. Check DMs. Oh god, who's he telling me to look at now? In fact, there was a video for Marathon. There's a much better video for Marathon instead of Reforge. Terrifying, expecting. Kids Move, I was wrong. Xbox is back. I'd like to hear that one. Kids Move's one, I'll check out. That's a good one. I'd like to see. Nah, if it went Monster, then I can't buy it. I can't drink Monster. If I drink a can of Monster drink, I will be in bed, in pain, and really suffering. Like, I can't do it. For some reason, I don't know what it is about Monster drinks. They absolutely cripple me. They give me stomach cramps, the works. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It is sugar free. It still absolute murders me. Oh wait, there's a new Evil Dead movie? What? Evil Dead Burn? Since when was there an Evil Dead movie coming out? It better have Bruce Campbell in there, or the movie is literally 0 out of 10. No Bruce Campbell. No. It needs Bruce Campbell. Again, I'd love to show it live on thing, but I can't. Yo, Chili, have you robbed the bank yet in NTE? Apparently, you can rob the bank. I did walk into a shop and I did steal one of the items and legged it out. I got away with it as well. Is that for a board pit? That sucks. I wish him all the best. Bruce Campbell's awesome, man. All right, let's check out this one video from Kids movie. Hopefully it's not too long. It's fine. I'm going to speed it up a little bit and then we'll end it there. But again, if people want to check out my stream tomorrow where I'm going to be doing a Let's Play on Pragmata, feel free to join me over at Chaos Lounge Gaming or twitch.tv/Chaos Lounge _. I couldn't get Chaos Lounge because someone that has it won't give it up, even though they haven't used it in the past 7 years. Yeah, but Nanali can't use it, so what's the point?
What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kids Move back with another video regarding
Okay,
Xbox,
that might be a bit
and
too
Asha
fast.
Sharma just being keeping her word and proving me wrong, man. I was very skeptical. I can't even speak. When she first got hired, I told you guys I initially thought she was Xbox exit plan, and she's not like this. Day after day, she's just saying the right stuff. And again, I kind of understand what she's doing. Obviously, she says she wants to make Xbox better. You know what I mean? She wants to bring Xbox back. So a couple things happened with her. There was an internal memo that went out, and then the email came out shortly after. They are getting rid of. They're changing the whole Microsoft gaming, and they're bringing back Xbox gaming or Xbox Game Studios.
Wait. What is Chaos pulling up? Look. I was testing dude. I was testing the audio. Come on, man. I was making sure that the audio was at the right speed, and you guys are already calling me out on that. I was doing it for your own benefit. Come on.
What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kids Move back with another video regarding Xbox, man. And Asha Sharma just being keeping her word and proving me wrong, man. I was very skeptical.
I realized all the time. I was testing it.
Got hired, I told you guys I initially thought she was Xbox exit plan, and she's not like this. Day after day, she's just saying the right stuff. And again, I kind of understand what she's doing. Obviously, she says she wants to make Xbox better. You know what I mean? She wants to bring Xbox back. So a couple things happened with her. There was an internal memo that went out, and then the email came out shortly after. They are getting rid of. They're changing the whole Microsoft gaming, and they're bringing back Xbox gaming or Xbox Game Studios, whatever, however they want to frame it. She sent out this memo, this blog post, talk about their commitments, what they're looking to do, things they want to improve. She's been very, very verbal and vocal at what she wants to do, identifying, the issues. What she's doing right now is community and fan base repair, right? And I can't be mad. So she says, Xbox will be where the world plays. Xbox will be where the world plays and creates. So this is where, trying to get gamers back and developers back.
Wait, isn't this old?
She says she wants to stabilize Gen 9 as a healthy, high quality base. So finish out this gen. Deliver Project Helix to lead in performance and play your console and PC games. Lead in comfortable, personal, high-end performance accessories. Build strong ecosystem that expands choice and reach.
Did we not already watch this? Or am I just going crazy? We watched this like a week ago, right? This is a really old video. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure we already watched this. Or am I going insane?
Content, grow and extend enduring portfolio of franchises players love, evolve third-party partnerships and strengthen our 5-year slate, expand into China, emerging markets, mobile-first audiences, maintain and grow, etc., etc. Experience fix the fundamental for the players and partners, make Xbox the best place for developers and creators to build and grow, overhaul discovery, customization, social, and personalization to connect the community. Services, fortify Game Pass with clear differentiation and sustainable economics, return business to durable growth with strong cost discipline, make cloud play feel native, fast and reliable across TV and low-cost devices, use M&A deliberately to accelerate growth where organic paths are too slow. Along the way, we will reevaluate our approach to exclusivity, windowing, and AI, and share more as we learn and decide. We are Xbox. Earn every player, protect our art, stay rebellious, progress over perfection, signal over ceremony, core before more, outwork the problem. Speed is learning. Makers over managers. Clarity is kindness. So that's from Matt and Asha. So ever since Asha stepped on the scene, bro, and again, it makes me question what was going on with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond.
I mean, technically, Banisher, with the way the news is kind of old after a few days, right? I mean, you make a video on this today and no one cares.
You know, the gamers of Xbox and to have this newcomer, you know, not in the industry come in and just start doing like fan service, and just essentially bringing back or attempting to bring back what Xbox, you know, fans wanted. You know, this is something, you know, Phil Spencer should have been doing. So it just makes me wonder, like, why is Satya now all for this? I don't know. I don't
Have
care.
a good night, gaming.
But I said there's one or two things left, and she addressed one of them, the exclusivity. So, you know, obviously the biggest thing that pushed that kind of was it ultimately became a last straw for me. Was all exclusive things, like where there's okay, because all it did, it's not that it made me not an Xbox. I still like Xbox. I still game on, you know, Xbox.
Yeah, it's probably that cool.
Heavily just that. All right, if I was going to use a device, well, I'm going to use a PC. You know what I mean? I'm going to use a PC. My library lives there. I don't. And then the Game Pass was cheaper. It's still cheaper there and whatnot. But you know, I had to understand for what Xbox for what it was. It was like, you know, they were EA or Ubisoft for sold with a console like that you didn't need. Now it looked like, you know, Asha is serious. So let's see what they do, you know, with the exclusives, because obviously their biggest games, you know, obviously Forza Horizon 6 is a timed exclusive for Xbox. Sorry, I think it comes out on PlayStation in the fall. Starfield already launched on PlayStation. It was the #1 seller for the week that it launched. Halo was already announced for PlayStation, which kind of it's coming out soon. I think in July. Gears of Fable, they already they already announced Fable day and date for PlayStation. And Gears of War has been the only game that hasn't been announced with.
And have you noticed that, right? That is the key. That is the key. They've announced everything for PlayStation except Gears of War. And that is why everyone is so focused on Gears of War. Because Microsoft could have easily announced where Gears is going, what it's going to be on, and everything. But they've purposefully left it kind of rolling until the actual showcase for June the 7th, unless it gets revealed by someone leaking it. And I really hope they don't, because I'd like to go into a show where things aren't spoilt for a change, which is why I probably won't be doing, you know, any kind of predictions or stuff like that. I might do, but it depends if I hear anything. If I hear something, I'm definitely not doing it because it'll be obvious. But I just want to go into this sort of thing just blind for the showcase. I think it's a lot more fun. And on that note, June the 6th showcase is going to be here on this channel. 7th showcase is going to be here on this channel. These gaming showcases will stay here on this channel. They're not going to be over at the Chaos Lounge Gaming. But Gears of War is the one because they haven't announced anything. Not the platform, nothing.
PlayStation. And I feel like if Asha is really considering this, I think that's the game, you know, that's probably going to avoid PlayStation. I think that's the game that's going to do it. And I don't know what they do in the future, but I think that's the game that does it, just to kind of show that she's serious. But they're making a lot of, you know, community changes. They mentioned some things.
You see, even he said the same thing. If you're going to make a statement, Gears E-Day is the one to make the statement. That will show everyone that you are taking this seriously, you're not just a mouthpiece, and you are standing by what you say. But if Gears E-Day gets announced day one for PlayStation, then at that point, she's going to lose a lot of the goodwill that she's been garnering. It's a really horrible position to put her in, I have to admit, but that's kind of the position that Satya has put her in, and at no fault of her own either. Because I think she's, doing a good job, and I think she's doing all the right things, getting the quick wins, doing the things that people want. I mean, even something as simple as the dynamic backgrounds, which if you had asked Sarah or anyone to do, they would have ignored you. She's given it to the community. It took probably 2 hours to get that delivered to your console, maybe 4 at most, from conception to dynamic to release. It's not a long thing to do, right? But she's doing the right things, and that's what you want. But the big question will always remain, and if she wants to get people fully on her side, whether it's good or bad, whichever side of the fence you are going to be on, that will determine how people perceive her when it comes to the Xbox, console in general. Is she dared to make Xbox great again, or is she just another Satya mouthpiece? Like I said, it is a shoddy and a crappy position to be in. Absolute crap. I don't envy her in that regard. Then again, she's getting paid a ton of money, so this is the type of position that she will find herself in more and more, and she's getting paid for that position. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And again, people may disagree with that, but that's the one that's going to have everyone's eyeballs on it. I mean, exclusives don't affect me in the, at all. I've got a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch, a PC, and an Xbox. So for someone like me, it doesn't affect me at all. But from a business perspective, I'm looking at it as a business, as a community, what will drive Xbox to success. Big decisions will hold a lot of sway. It's just one of those things. It's business 101, man.
In here that I didn't read. I know they want to improve PC, and Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond has been saying that for a long time. But the difference between Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and now Asha is that I feel like every time she says something, within a week or two, she does it. She delivers it. Like I feel like just like last week she mentioned like, oh, Game Pass is too expensive, and then within a week they reduce the price and make a difference on make the change for like Call of Duty. And then this one there was a rumor that what the heck was the rumor that came before this news came? I think she put a post or something, and then this post came out, and I think there's even another thing that's like live. I think I just saw something from Tom Henderson. It may not have been Tom Henderson, but it was somebody. This is what I saw. An Xbox engineer has indicated that the platform.
Man's brave, man, going through his timeline in light mode as well. But if I went through my timeline, there is nothing but NTE, Wuthering Waves, and waifus all over it. I can't be exposing that shit. Straight up. That's why you get tabs of the actual articles. Ain't no way I'm exposing that.
Is working on additional features and fun surprises directly informed by player feedback. Well, all right, so that's not it. That's not the screenshot. There's another one. It was a Game Pass starter kit that came across my screen, and I gotta be careful on my X so you don't know what you want to see when you're scrolling. But
yeah, see, even he's being scared.
But yeah, no, this is I'm feeling the new.
That's
Xbox
some
logo.
brave shit going out your way.
I think it's Tom Warren might have posted it. There we go. Says Microsoft's new Xbox Game Pass Starter Edition just leaked. Is going to be bundled with Discord Nitro subscriptions and includes 50 plus games and limited cloud streaming. Full details here.
See, this is huge, right? Xbox has what? Microsoft has, or Xbox, let's say Xbox, has 40 million Game Pass subscribers, 40 plus. All of these Nitro subscribers overnight are going to be Game Pass subscribers. How many Discord Nitro subscribers are there? Millions upon millions, tens of millions. They're all going to become Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Whether they use the service or not, they're now Game Pass subscribers. And so just by that, they're probably going to leapfrog from 40 million to, I don't know, 200 million overnight. Hey, look, I've never denied my affinity to waifus. Waifus are lifus. When have you ever seen me? I mean, you've seen the games I'm playing.
See? Like, hey, like, for example, this isn't for me, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But the difference between Asha and all the other Xbox owners is like she says something and then she does it. And when she says she's reevaluating exclusivity, I feel like they're truly reevaluating, and I feel like there's going to be a decision extremely soon. Now,
and guess it's going to be that decision
for them to make this series. One is like, okay, bring back exclusivity for some port. And when I say bring back exclusives, I'm not saying only on Xbox. Make only on Xbox ecosystem. Like I like obviously they're not leaving PC. It is what it is. Like I'm happy for that. Keep it on.
They're never going to leave PC, and like you said, I'm also okay with that. PC is a big part of Xbox now, and they're combining PC and Xbox together. So, it is a synergy that works
on PC. I just think it's again, it did them no favors to be on PlayStation. One, get the PC app up to snuff. Make find a way to get developers to make their games for Xbox PC or the Xbox Play Anywhere, make it more incentivizing. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's them, you know, decreasing or increasing the developer share on the Xbox front. I was like, hey, you only get the share if your game is Play Anywhere. Like if that's like,
You see, he's saying the same thing as I'm saying. And a lot of people say Kit's move is crazy or he's washed out or whatever, but it's because he's saying the logical things. He's not just simping over Asha Sharma. He's not simping on Xbox. He's not turning around and saying that everything they touch is gold. But he knows what they have to do. It's obvious, and clearly Xbox knows as well. You need the incentive to be on Xbox. Everything needs an incentive, right? You need everything that you do is incentivized somehow. Everything you buy is incentivized. Why pay £40 on a game when you can get it for £44 and get it play anywhere? I'm happy to pay that extra £4 or £5 for the option to play anywhere with my on my console and on my PC. That's an incentive. Play anywhere is huge. But you need to also work on those prices, because when Steam is offering it for £35 and you're doing it for £50, that's a big margin there. So then the incentive starts to go down a bit, and then you say, right, can you work with that? And then they say, right, instead of 50, we'll make it 40. And then you say, okay, I'm willing to pay £10 extra and, stick with my Xbox because it's giving me more value. So everything is just a value proposition. And they just need to make it so that Xbox is the most valuable proposition for the gamer.
beating out what Epic is offering or beating out what Steam is doing while doing that, I think that's a perfect move, a really good move. And then restocking these stores with Xbox consoles, man. Make that thing attractive again. Bring down those prices. You know what I mean? We know Project Helix, I think it's going to be a relatively expensive device. And it's not like once Helix is out, it's ending the series generation. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think Gen 9 is like almost never ending. So yeah, they got some decisions to make. But again, I'm sold. I was a skeptic. I don't know how long she's been in charge. I think maybe 3 months or so. But I've been a skeptic since her announcement. But she's been her actions has been doing more talking than she has. She said a couple things. We hear you, all that stuff. I wasn't paying attention to that jazz. But slowly the action started taking place. Improving achievements, dashboard, or this, that. Like everything they're doing is like making the Xbox experience better and serving the fans, which is I think all we really wanted. You know what I mean? Like the next showcase, I'm not trying to see a PlayStation. I don't care that it's on PlayStation. When you show your games, we don't care that it's on PlayStation. We care that it's on Xbox. We care if it's in Game Pass, and we care that it's Play Anywhere. So Asha, shout out to you. Had to double back with another video because every other day I feel like
it's a good video, but it's pretty much what I've been saying. Better marketing for Game Pass, 100%, easily. Sell the damn thing. Get people aware of it. I worked for a digital agency, and there was a couple of contractors that would come into us, and they were also like really casual gamers on PC, and they had no idea what Game Pass was. Can you imagine that? That was the problem. So Sanchez, I agree with that. Definitely more advertising for Game Pass, because there are loads of people out there who do not know what Game Pass is. As crazy as that sounds, it's actually real. I've seen it firsthand. And these aren't just people who don't play video games, they're casual gamers at heart. But they don't know what it was. And that's a huge problem, right? Because if you're doing a subscription service, you want everyone to know about it. You can go to anyone and their grandma and say, what is Netflix? And they'll tell you what Netflix is. You want Game Pass to be on that level in terms of recognition. Third-party money hatting and provide good quality games is the way. I agree with that. Asha seems to be doing good so far. I agree with all of this. Right? There's nothing you said there that is incorrect. But, things are progressing smoothly. But I do think and I do believe that the first real change or real impact is going to be felt when we find out about Gears of War. That is what everyone is going to hold it towards. Whether it's right or wrong, it's the correct thing to do is irrelevant. when that gets revealed at the June showcase, that is what people are gonna pretty much judge her based on. And like I said, I think it's unfair. I think it's not right because she's been put in that position by Satya in a really bad position. And regardless of what she decides to do with Gears of War, I just hope people won't react badly if it's not the outcome that they want, and give her the time she needs. Because, in my opinion, true impact will be felt when Helix is released. Because then you'll see exactly what is what and where things are going. So hopefully people won't be too harsh and do a Uno reverse in how they actually feel and react with the impact she's going to have. But yeah, that's really it. By the way, if anyone, I kind of skipped this one, so I wanted to show it just in case. Obviously, Final Fantasy V, great stuff, amazing. But Motor Slice, if you haven't seen this, it's on Game Pass Ultimate. I watched the trailer for this. It looks really fun, really cool. I recommend you check it out. It's on Game Pass Ultimate, so it's available today. And definitely one that I do recommend you check it out. I really like the trailer, and is one that I think has potential that some people might actually enjoy. Well, folks, that is everything I had to talk about today. It is Pokemon. You know what? Let me just play the trailer. Let me quickly play the trailer. Why not? Like, it's got such a weird name, Motor Slice. But it actually looked really cool. And I did like it. By the way, guys, I really appreciate everyone for being here and staying till the end. I know this one went on for a little longer than I anticipated, especially with how I'm feeling. But I do appreciate every single one of you. And thank you for the memberships, the super chats. It really helps. I am trying to go into this full time as of right now. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content.
This is Slicer P. My job here is to hunt down machines. Get in, eliminate the machines, and get out.
You know what? I forgot I left this on. I left this on fast speed. I was wondering, why does she sound like Mickey Mouse? She parried a tire! Let's go!
Failure is forbidden.
It's available now on Xbox and Game Pass, so I don't know, I really liked it. Chaos Lounge Reforged, don't mix me up with that guy. Not until he apologizes, which he won't. I mean, the audacity of him calling me a thief. I did not take too kindly to that one. But folks, that's it for me. I'll be around tomorrow with Pragmata. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that over at my other channel, and I will see you then. Thanks so much for hanging out. Peace, and I'll see you next time. Night, everyone.